picked up with the fight at the Dusted Ruby, and between Yagra and Krentz, and two sides that were kind of cheering on each side. And eventually Yagra lost the fight. And then we picked up in the inn, the Yawning Portal, which has this giant well kind of hole in the center. And they lower, everyone would probably know this, they lower people down into the hole. And there's Undermountain, which is under the Yawning Portal, and it's a dungeon with potential treasures and whatnot. So a lot of adventurers kind of frequent this bar. And we mainly just introduced everyone's characters, and yeah, not too much happened yet. Torin broke up a fight between Yagra and Krentz. Krentz ran off. V's talked to Durnan a little bit. Krandren was checking out Volo and his books and whatnot. Also, Old Man Gur, right?
Gur
and Grumbo entered into the tavern and scuttled their way through and talked to Volo. And as that happened, a troll emerged from the portal in the center. Ooh, we got everyone loaded in.
I also drank a large portion of liquor. Alcohol.
Oh, yeah, you had a giant tub of it. I forgot about that.
I had a nice glass of water.
Sipping a glass of wine.
Cool.
Like a fancy mofo.
Let me get this. Okay, battle music. So as this giant hulking beast kind of emerges from the side of the well over here, they a giant green arm grabs the side of this winch as it pulls itself up. This 9-foot tall beast. There's shouts of alarm that ring out as this hulking creature climbs up in the middle of the tap room, with warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long, sharp, carrot-like nose, and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to it and sucking the blood off the back of this creature. And some other of these bats fly above as this eerie green light emerges from the well. Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear except for the barkeeper, Durnan, who shouts, "Troll!" And he will grab from under the bar a giant greatsword. And we will roll initiative. So I will... Oh, wait. Let me double check that this mod does the thing. What is it called again?
Good question.
Quick combat or something like that. Okay. Okay. We're actually... Ooh, that'll help. Nice. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom,
boom,
boom, boom, pow.
That's
Blam.
not what I'm trying to do. Shit.
Well, hey. We're screwed.
Combat.
Snitch.
Oh, okay, that's not
You guys... Yeah, you guys can click the dice.
Oh my god, what is happening?
Probably open the combat tracker and just click the dice to roll initiative.
Oh, wait, what dice? Oh,
you will see, in the initiative.
Nice.
This combat tracker, it'll be like in the turn order next to you, Krandren. You'll see this white dice. I think it popped up. If you don't see it, it's the second tab in the top right. There's chat, and then there's combat tracker. It's the fist icon.
Okay, I see. So
Okay,
so I just click that button and then it'll roll me.
yeah, there you go.
Another option you can do is, Dan, you can select your token, and on the top, there's a list of things you can do. Like it's kind of like a HUD. Under utility, there's a roll initiative. Just in case you don't feel like clicking on the die.
Good to know.
People measuring things? What's going on here?
I accidentally drew some circles. How do I get rid of that?
If you just go to the measure, or like at the top left, it'll say measuring controls. That might have been what you're on.
Yeah, that's what I
was. How you draw stuff. Yeah,
I was trying to. I was trying to figure out how far, like measuring distance, like that. How do you do that?
It's under basic controls, which is the person icon, and then the ruler.
Oh, okay.
You can also control click and drag. Control, drag, click.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Cool. As these sturges will start swarming out from above the troll, you'll see some of them, these ones highlighted in red, are fat with blood, as they seem to drop off and go back into the well to digest the blood. The troll seems injured already, but yes, we will see what happens. As this one will fly in and attempt to blood drain Gur over here.
Watch out.
Oh no. I'm a small little guy. Why would you go after me?
Gur.
I'm a fragile old man.
Ooh. You duck out of the way quickly. Your small size making it easy to jump out of the way. This one over here will fly forward over to Torin and also attack out. Ooh, a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
And then 7 damage.
All right.
Nice.
As it attaches itself. Double check that's how it works.
Yeah, I remember fighting these guys.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, V's.
I have a couple questions first, since I'm the person that's going first.
Good idea.
Should we, when it comes up on our turn, should we redescribe our characters, since it's been 2 weeks?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And where exactly is the troll? Is it like standing on the lip of the thing, or is it?
Yeah, it's emerging on the lip here. It is 9 feet tall, so it takes up
he's a big
quite a bit of this first story. Yeah. This center area here, the Yawning Portal has multiple floors, but this center area encapsulates 3 stories tall. It's quite a big inn, so
okay.
There's a lot of room above.
And where's the Barkeep?
The Barkeep is
right
here, Durnan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the troll's standing on the lip. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meta question. Do I know how to fight trolls because of my past training or something, or anything like that? Do I know what they're susceptible to, or what their weaknesses may be, how strong they are? Or is this the first time I've seen a troll?
Let's roll a history check. It'll be fairly easy. If you get really low, then you may not know. Okay,
10.
yeah. You know the basic knowledge of.
I remembered my training.
Determine that. Yeah.
All right. So this mouse of a woman that has a certain abstract radiance to her, despite lacking an overall attention-grabbing figure. She's got this root beer in her hand. She was sipping on it, having a nice little rest, because she looks like she just blew into Waterdeep. She's got short dandelion hair that is accessorized with clips and a ribbon, keeping errant tufts pinned down. She's got like a black pair of oval glasses that frame a pair of eyes that possess every hue from a summer field of clover. She's got an attire composed of a long-sleeved cream-colored sweater over a purple long skirt. Hung diagonally across her form is this wooden scabbard that's painted silver and gold that promises to contain a sword, and from it dangles a curious-looking circular trinket. Hear the commotion, and quickly look around and mutter under her breath, "There's too many people." And stand up, take my root beer, and I will recite, "My might is a crash of rhinos. I have the strength to move mountains. Against all immovable objects, I will be the unstoppable force." And I would like to self-hypnotize. And move up to the troll and push it over the edge. Back down the wall.
Okie dokie.
That's pretty
Roll
funny.
a athletics.
12.
Could have been better. Could have been worse.
Gonna run up to him and kick him in the chest. Kick him in the knee. Dang it.
Ooh, unfortunately, it is not enough as you charge into this thing, and it starts to get pushed back, but grabs on the ledge once more. As you're trying to push it off, it seems unstaggered.
I will take out one of my kukris. So I've got a kukri and a root beer. Find the bigger they are. And I end my turn.
Cool. This one over here will attack Grumbo as it flies in.
Oh, not
Oh
Grumbo.
dear.
And let's roll blood drain. 16.
Dear. Yeah, 16 hits.
Okay. 4 damage as it comes swooping in and
I
starts
say.
sucking blood from your chest. Yeah. Volo seems panicked as he's trying to gather up a bunch of his text and move out of the way. Okay. Gur.
All right. What is happening? Grumbo, what are you doing?
There's sturges everywhere, Gur.
Yeah, let's just let the young folk handle this. Fairy fire, Sheboygan,
I almost spilled my drink.
and I would like to aim at these people. Make deck saves.
Troll makes a save. Ooh, that does not.
Nice.
Sturge makes the save. Okay, so this one has fairy fire on it.
Attacks against it are an advantage.
If I have any, go like this.
Nice.
And for these, I might as well make it for the other Sturges.
Ooh,
Okay.
Nice.
wonderful.
All
Wonderful.
of them are also fairy fired. Oh wait, that's different. Okay. By the way, if you're having like any problems with performance, like FPS, if you go to the gear at the very top right and go to configure settings, you might see that. You can like turn off soft shadows and light animation, and it might it'll help run things a bit quicker if you're having problems with it.
Okay. And I'll just hunker down and end my turn.
Nice. What's it look like when you cast this?
So I'll pull out my junk shooter. I'll put a little bit of magic energy on the top hole, and you'll just see like a little ball of green fire shoot out of it, and slightly like sparklers will just sort of appear above these guys, and it'll just sort of drench them on little sparkles.
Yeah, they start sparkling a bit. As the troll seems kind of confused as it's trying to get pushed back into this well. Torin. This thing's attached to you.
Where is it attached to me exactly?
It'll be like at the shoulder, kind of on your back a little bit.
Alright. Torin will stand up and push away from the table, and he'll just reach over his shoulder and he'll grab it, and he just wants to just yank it off of him.
Okay. I believe it is just a shove. So yeah, so athletics.
A little athletics check. You gotta be
Oh
shitting
no!
me. You gotta be
That is-
shitting me!
My boy.
Get out of the way
No,
now.
no.
My
Get out of the way
friend.
now. Okay.
Time to start.
Oh, but it has very low strength. As you manage,
Hey.
even with a natural one, even at your worst, you manage to shake off this Sturge,
That's scary.
and it gets pushed back 5 feet. That is your turn, though, with the shove getting it off of you.
Yep.
Cool.
Do you
Yeah,
want me
it
to end
seems
my
to-
turn, or?
I can end it.
Okay.
Is it Ebyn, or how do you say it?
Ebyn.
Ebyn. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So, we're still doing like stuff, right?
That'd be
What's
cool.
Oh,
Oh, that's
this-
right. I forgot about that.
No, so,
Yeah,
you see Ebyn, just a standard looking kobold. Darker scales, like orangey amber eyes, clothed in like a cloak with cheap like fur frill around the collar that folds up into a hood. He's got a big backpack on and a bunch of different pouches stemming from the outside of this backpack. It's like he lives out of this thing. It's about as big as he is. And you see a couple daggers in makeshift scabbards on his hips. So he looks like he's armed to the teeth. So Ebyn's gonna hop up onto the bar. If I can. How do I move?
Yeah, just make sure you have basics controls selected at the very top left with the little person icon. That might be a problem.
You can try doing the measuring thing and pressing space.
Game is currently paused.
Oh, it's not.
That's
I'll
local.
pause and unpause it. Did that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
So Evan's gonna hop up on the and cast. Reach into his pockets, pull out a couple stones, and cast magic stone. And he's just going to immediately start running across the bar top and hand 2 stones out to these 2 patrons and say, "Stones guided by magic, throw them at the beast." And
Yeah.
he'll take another step and throw his stone at the big green thing.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you can roll that attack. They'll look confused at first, but kind of both of these seem like adventures, and they seem interested at least. And they will also chuck stones at this.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit. It just hits.
Okay, so
Ooh, unfortunately, your friends are not very good at throwing, as they
Damn.
both chuck. They're both a little bit drunk, and they're chucking and kind of laughing and not really. They're like, "Hey, now I can get the T-shirt saying I threw a stone at the troll."
it's at advantage, right? For them?
It is.
Would it be?
Very fair.
Oh,
Or, yeah, he's very
oh,
fair.
true. Very true.
Yours would be a well. Oh, no, you already.
So-
I rolled that advantage.
One of them misses, and the other one will say just hits.
Hey.
And I roll the damage based on yours, right? You can
Yeah,
roll
so
it
it's
if you want.
1d6 plus 3. Yes.
Okay, let's see if this does it. I guess I'll roll it. 1d6 plus 3, 4 damage as you chuck and hit this thing.
So mine. And
7 damage.
sneak attack, right?
Yes.
Are we allies yet? It's a real question.
It's at advantage.
I know.
So, and then this.
Nice. As you wallop this thing.
10 damage. That's my turn.
Yeah. Yeah, this little stone goes flying through the air as it thunks this thing in the head, and it actually gets pushed back magically more than you'd think as it like holds its eye. It brings up one of its arms to hold its injury.
And then Ebyn kind of points and laughs at it. Ah!
Yeah. This other Sturgill comes swooping in for V's.
My AC is 15.
Okay. Ooh, you
It
duck and
misses.
dodge out of the way as it comes swooping in, gliding to try to stick to you.
I am too focused. I can sense its movements.
What Yagra will do, Yagra will look over at Torin as you shake off this thing like it's nothing. She will use the help action on you as she will grab at this bat and basically line up so you can pummel it, and I'll say take the shot already, and we'll let you punch with advantage on your team. On your turn. Krandren.
I'm imagining Yeager has this bat in like a full Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm imagining too.
You
Yeah,
get
it just
him.
grabs both the wings. Yeah, it's not a
Okay,
grapple, but
so-
it's, yeah.
All right, so Krandren was calmly sipping his wine at the bar and is just, well, he's in very basic clothing, kind of run of the mill at the time, but he's got a cloak up that with the collar covering his covering the lower part of his face, just trying to remain as low as low key as possible. Not really sure whether hobgoblins are a more common sight around here or not, so really just trying to lay low. But he just puts down his bottle. He puts down the glass of wine with a sigh and just. I get a little bit of free time for the first time in years, and of course this happens. So here we go. So he will take his short bow off of his back, and he will. Okay, let me see how I move here. Sorry. I guess he will. Yeah, I guess can he jump up on? Oh shit! What is happening? Crap. Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, how do you move?
If your token is selected, you can use the cursor keys actually to move, or you can drag yourself around.
Okay, cool. So 10 feet of movement to jump up on this couch over here, and he will aim with his short bow at one of the glowing sturges here. So, and that is with advantage. How do you roll with advantage?
Put your short bow in the chat by clicking the Sorry, Gareth.
Oh, go for
I
it
get
now.
so eager to explain.
No, it's all good. I just talk over you either way. So, yeah, go for it.
You can. So you see how it now says like attack and damage.
Yep.
Click on attack, and it'll ask you how you want to do it.
Okay. Cool. So so attack
Wait,
with
attacking?
advantage.
Attacking this one?
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Roll a 13.
Does a 13 hit?
Unfortunately, it. Oh yeah, that is with advantage. Unfortunately, these things are pretty small and dexterous as it moves out of the way.
Well, he's pretty annoyed by this, so he's going to go right into using Saving Face. How do I? God damn it! I'm trying to show these
That's all good.
abilities here. It's there we
Nice.
go. So number of allies within 30. Well, I guess what's considered an ally in this situation?
Yes.
Fighting on the same side as you.
Yeah, everyone else in the turn order. So
I'm
So-
very
Durin
good.
and Yagra plus your friend or your other friend. So 6,
Within-
7, 8.
30
Yeah.
feet. So
I'm
I
okay.
guess that's
Oh, every single one of them? Oh.
If it's within 30 feet, it will only be
well with the max
Gur-
of 5. So
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Gur, Grumbo, and depends.
Yo,
What
Lolo?
what does this do?
it's a bonus to hit. So
Okay.
if I miss with an attack roll, then I gain a bonus to the roll equal to number of allies I can see within 30 feet.
I mean, I'm pretty sure with me and Grumbo, you already
That brings
hit.
it up to 15, so that would hit,
Yeah.
right?
Gur and Grumbo. 15 does hit. Yeah,
Nice.
indeed.
Okay.
So now you can hit that damage.
Okay,
in
so
the short
damage
bow.
with the short bow. And then sneak attack. Because it's at advantage.
Look at that. You're welcome.
Ooh, nice. Smart.
Nice, max damage.
Very nice.
This thing absolutely pops.
Worth.
It is full of blood and is completely destroyed. And it's this one, right? That you're.
Yeah, it was that one. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, and he will use the rest of his movement to just kind of get out of the way. So that's 15, 20, 25, 30.
Ooh, Brandon, get out the way.
And I will end my turn here.
Nice. Grumbo. This thing is attached to your shoulder.
Oh dear. I will call. Oh, well, first of all, Grumbo Hutbuster. Old, gnome, small, covered in knickknacks, carries a wand, kind of goofy. Pretty much describes the guy. I will call upon the Tides of Awesome, if I can find them. Look out, Gur, this could get dangerous.
Oh me, oh my.
They're good.
I'll use that to gain advantage. And I will cast 3 magic missiles. Well, 1 magic. Whoa, okay. That's
Whoa.
I
That's a
don't.
lot of check.
What
All
Holy.
get wild magic.
We all
We
get
all
wild magic.
get mad.
Ha ha! Prepare to die, everybody.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God help.
I would like to hit 2 magic missiles at the one on my shoulder and hope that handles it, and 1 at. Do I just long click for a ping?
That one is dead. That one.
The closer one. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Roll that damage.
I might. Okay, this.
Cool. So that's times 3.
Well, damn.
Oh.
That's
So
4 to
each
1.
of them is 4 damage. So the first shot kills this this Sturge over here.
Oh dear!
Let's see.
I've wasted a missile.
I'm wondering, does anyone know if that's how it works? Can you can't you retarget?
Like if you say 3,
if
go
you
there,
overkill
but
it.
only 2 hit.
I don't know.
They all strike
I
something.
think they all hit at the same time. Yeah, the darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several.
Cool.
So you can't be like, oh, well, if that one's just going to kill it, then I'll aim it at something else. That's unfortunately not how it works.
Yeah, so you shoot two of these missiles, and it is overkill, but you manage to get rid of both of them that were assailing you and your gnome friend.
Oh,
Done
thank you
it.
so much.
My Tides of Awesome, I totally forgot that Magic Missile just automatically hits. So,
Yeah,
so
you didn't
I-
have to do it at all.
yeah, well, and I don't even think I can because there's nothing to gain advantage on.
Yeah.
There's no attack.
So I
Well,
cancel
yeah,
the Tides of Awesome.
Yeah,
Hey.
you feel the magic surround you for a second, and then it decides not to fuck things up. Cool.
Make you feel any better? It was still pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Durnan over here will hop up on the bar very dexterously. Something about how he hops up seems almost somehow magically supported, and he'll use his full movement to get next to the troll as well. As he hops across the battlefield, and as he hops over one of the tables, he will grab a cup of ale that was half drunk, and he will start sipping it as the troll will start attacking. So 1 bite, 2 claw attacks. So 1 bite on V's.
Don't bite me. No, he can have my root beer instead of biting me.
Yeah, we will see.
Not even close.
He bites the root beer. He bites the root beer instead, unfortunately, as your root beer spills. And a claw attack on V's and 1 on Durnan. So this
I was drinking
V's.
that.
Oh!
No, it goes to
Oh,
Durnan. No, it hits Durnan.
And then
That's the one that hit Durnan.
Simply
And
not
then
true.
Durnan dies.
Whoa! Big claw attack. Slashes across you.
I'm paying lots of attention to his movement as in my extremely heightened, focused state, and I lurch at the last moment to make sure it doesn't hit any of my vital points.
Nice. Is that the
That's
flavor
the-
of rage
Yeah.
as well? Okay.
That's the
Yeah, it doesn't hit as hard as it would, and it would definitely hit hard. Durnan will look over, kind of surprised that you didn't absolutely die.
Grit my teeth hurt.
And
Come on.
this will try to hit Durnan as it glances off of his blade. And okay. Also, a thing will happen.
Oh, a thing.
Oh no.
Tell
As
us.
Another
you will
troll.
see, yeah,
Please no.
5 more trolls emerge. Holy shit! No.
Time to leave.
Oh, look, there's
You
the
will
door.
see, yeah, the wounds on this troll's back from the sturges, as well as the numerous attacks so far, seem to close a little bit. And it will begin regenerating. And Durnan will yell over, well, if you guys got any like acid or fire or something like that, that's usually how we deal with these. He does not seem very scared.
Usually how we
from
deal
this
with these.
Yeah,
This is a normal occurrence. Oh my god.
yeah, the regular. As the Sturge will also come in and attack these.
Don't do it.
Let's see.
You do
Attacking.
it anyways? But yeah, so nice.
Yeah, it hits.
Ooh.
Oh.
And it will deal 4 damage. Sucks blood. Coming back around, we got Dead Sturge. How can I just remove?
There you go.
This one over here will attempt to attack Yagra now that it's being attempted to be held down. Ooh, 18. Let me double check. That does hit. As it does 4 damage, as it seems to reverse, start sucking the blood of Yagra, as she starts to panic a little bit. Bees.
I would like to try again and lift the troll off of his feet and shove him back down into the well.
Cool. Roll that athletics.
16.
And ooh,
Nice.
as you do just that.
Pick him up by his ankle and just whoop! Oopsie daisy!
Yeah, as it tries to slow motion grasp the side of the well, you think for a second it will grab, as you will see some of its hands curl, some of the fingers curl around the corner, and Durnan will quickly stamp on the fingers as it falls back into the well.
How hard they fall.
Yeah, it will echo as it disappears back down into the well.
The sound effect
Damn.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes. I wish I had the echo on tap. Good.
Let's,
Gur.
let's see. Do I have a bonus action? I would like for my bonus action. I would like to drink. No, I'm gonna toss the root beer in after it. I'm not touching that. This guy troll.
Yeah, that's probably good to do.
This
Nice. Yeah.
So to frame the picture, this 5 nothing glasses wearing diminutive lady just boop. There he goes. Lifted a troll up. I'm done.
Yeah. And as it falls in, these blood-drunk bats will follow after it. One of them being dead and exploded already, so it kind of just flew off to the side. And Torin, Yagra has lined up this attack, but now is having the blood sucked out of him.
My turn.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, it's old man Gurst.
Oh man,
Yeah,
girl.
sorry.
Old man
Gur.
Oh my god.
These two Sturges got magic missiled out of the air by your friend.
Holy crap. There's a lot of things happening. Did that little girl just throw a troll into the pit? Crazy. Alright, I guess I'll just load up my junk shooter with a fish, and I'll shoot it at this young little disgusting little bat. Okay, let's do that. Shabuya. It does not hit.
Ooh,
You
unfortunately.
wasted off fish.
Yeah.
It's,
Which
it's
one was
just a
this
fish head. This guy
This
over
one
here.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually slaps Yagra in the face. This fish goes slapping into her face, and she's panicking while this thing's
Quick
sucking
question about
her blood.
help action. Is it the next attack that's on the enemy, or is it specifically for an individual that you're helping?
That's right.
That is a good question.
It
I
is.
believe it's.
I
it's
think
on
it's
the
next
individual.
attack on the enemy.
Yeah.
But it's a,
It's like you
So
help.
do I get advantage on it?
You help a person.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought actually. Let me double check. Help 5e. I'm pretty sure it is.
this will be
on a
important for
person.
me later. So
Yeah. Let me double check. Help action. Looking around. Help. You lend your aid to another creature in the completion of a task. In this case, being the shit out of a bat. So, yes.
It's creature dependent.
Torin. It's your chance to beat the shit out of a bat.
Oh
advantage.
yeah, I forgot to describe what Torin looked like on my turn.
Sure.
So as he stood up and he pushed back away from this table, just this 7.5-foot tall red dragonborn is just hulking over this table, angry as shit. And he's got like this cool like fur-lined tailcoat on, but with the sleeves ripped off.
Oh hell yeah!
And he's just got some somewhat nice-looking pants that don't go all the way down to his feet. They go about like half calf. You can clearly tell we're like custom made for him.
Yeah, nice.
And he's just gonna pull his fist back while looking at Yagra, and he's just gonna try to line up a hit on this Sturge with Morg.
Okay. Yeah, with advantage.
Priceless.
Ooh, a big punch. As Yagra will be panicking. Get this thing off me!
Noise.
Boom! Giant fucking one punch man explosion of blood. As this thing turns into fucking blood liquid all over. Gets on Durnan a little bit.
Gets on the fish a little bit.
Nice. Is there an easy way to mark things as dead without going in the turn order? Do you know that? Cell?
You can right-click once on it, and then in conditions, there's a dead.
Okay. Does that?
I think in
Don't believe that.
also
Marks...
in one of the mods, I think it's Monk's little things. If a creature goes to 0, it immediately marks it as dead on its own automatically.
Oh, I mean. Oh, okay. That did it. Yeah, I just haven't been. When they die, I haven't been putting them to 0. That's the problem. Okay, nice. Remind me again, is it Ebyn or Ebyn?
Ebyn.
Ebyn, okay. Ebyn.
Yep, like Evan with a B instead
Yeah.
of a V.
Like ebony. Like a okay.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
No, I
that'll
was just
help
like
out.
ebony.
Yeah, without the last bit.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that'll help. Remember?
So Evan's gonna cast the same spell, Magic Stone, run back across the top of the bar top, handing 2 of the stones to the other patrons, and I'm gonna throw one at the closest Sturge. This one is just normal. 20.
Nice, that hits. Oh boy, one
Very
of them
nice.
throws it with a good. Another one misses,
Hey.
but I believe that's going to do enough.
So I hit the
6
first one for
damage
6.
on one. Nice. You hit the first one for 6, and this soldier with white hair will chuck one of the stones quite hard at the other one, as one of them splats with blood, and then the soldier's stone goes through the blood splat and kills the other one. Should mark them as 0 rather than just hiding them. Splat, and I believe thus ends the combat.
Combat.
Oh
That's
my
a sick rhyme, Gareth. Oh my god.
Did it rhyme? I didn't even notice.
Splat, and thus ends the combat.
Is these level 0?
We're doing experience. So
Milestone.
okay.
Oh, it just does that.
It
Okay.
just does that automatically. Dude, Beast is level 1. What's up with
Heck yeah, level 1. Let's
that?
Yeah.
That means I leveled up. I think since I leveled up, I'm back at max HP. Yes, no, I'm kidding. I like to rip the dead Sturge out of my body and throw it into the well.
Yeah. Durnan will wipe off the blood from his from the blood splatter previously, and he will look especially at V's and say, "You did well there. I can't say I expected that." And he will start moving back over to the bar, cleaning himself off a little bit, sipping the beer that he took up, and as he passes by, he'll say, "I'll get you another root beer on the house."
snap my fingers
You will
and come out of my
hop over
trance.
the mark. Uh-huh. Cool. Yes, Volo will approach the two gnomes and Krandren as well, but he mainly approaches the gnomes which he knows well. And let's see here.
I say, Volo, we haven't had to do that in a while.
I haven't seen you fight like that for quite some time. Like I said, it's been 20 years. And he adjusts his floppy hat and tightens his scarf as he approaches. He will look over to Gur and say, I don't think I properly introduced myself. My name is Volothamp Gedarp, chronicler, wizard, celebrity. At your service. And he will reach down for a handshake.
Gur will go for the handshake and be like, "You're a celebrity. I'm not up to times with the celebrities. That's my bad. But hello, it's nice to meet you."
Yeah. As he's shaking your hand and looking you in the gnome face, he seems to have a small look of recognition. As he says, I believe I've heard of you. Do you happen to have a store in town?
Yes, one man's trash. It's a nice, quaint little store. It sells some weapons, armors, furniture, anything you could really think of. Anything that can be repurposed.
I believe I have been there. They've got some interesting finds, but amongst the less useful things, as a discoverer and explorer, I enjoy finding the diamonds in the rough. I believe I met a young gnome there. Ben something?
Yes, that's my son. He's a good boy. He takes care of the shop for me. I used to do it myself, but time, age, is difficult.
Yeah, he'll nod and say, I know about that. And he will look over to Grumbo and say, as I said, I have a job. It's a bit of a rush job, as I said, not 20-year kind of thing.
You want the express service again? Must have been satisfied with your last one.
He will look over at Gur and say, Express service. My friend is in, grave danger. I worry for him.
Oh, poor soul.
He will quickly go back to his books and whatnot and open up a sack of gold and produce 6 gold and approach back to the gnomes and say, unfortunately, my gold coffers are a bit tight. The book hasn't been selling as well as I thought it would, but right now I can give you 60 and I can give you 10 times that when you come back here.
Say, old friend, how will you get 10 times this amount of gold by the time we return?
Oh, I'm writing my new book. I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm sure it'll sell 10 times more than my last one.
For an old
roll
friend,
a insight.
Okay.
Roll an insight check.
It's not popping up for me. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm having some trouble here.
Do you mind if I roll inside as well?
Sure, go for it. As you eye this floppy-headed weirdo.
Yeah.
Floppy hat.
Sorry, it wouldn't work on pop-out version.
Nice. Okay. You both look at each other as he's stammering off this stuff, and he will say, it seems like he may not be good for that money completely. He is not sure of this. He seems unsure.
We're old friends here. Perhaps a contract is in order.
No. Grumbo. This man is in need. Let's at least hear what he has to say first, and then we can talk about prices.
Of course. What kind of trouble is your friend in for?
He will look to the ceiling and be recalling. Well, my friend, we were drinking. It must have been 2 days ago. We were drinking at the Skewered Dragon, dark body bar in the dock ward. You can't miss it. It has a giant anchor sticking out. I believe it's on Net Street and Fillet Lane. Yes, Floon Blagmar is his name. He is more beauty than brains, but he is a handsome young man in his 30s, red blonde hair, dressed in a princely-looking garb. But I worried that he got lost on his way home. Unfortunately, I had to go with pressing matters and my book to write, so I was heading on my way back, and, well, ever since then I haven't seen him. He usually frequents this bar, and he will gesture around.
A floon, was it?
Yes, Floon. It's a
Floon.
regular name.
Of course,
Floon.
yes. Of course,
Yes,
Floon.
Floon.
Yes.
That's a name. Oh, of course.
Yes, Floon. Floon Blagmire.
Blagmar.
Lagmar.
Of course,
Floon
Blag.
Blagmar. He will
These
post it
names
in the
are-
chat. And it will
Sager,
appear above his head.
have you seen Floon Blagmar?
I've never heard of that name
I'm
in my
very
life.
sorry, Volo. We haven't seen Floon Blagmar.
You should go down to the bar, the Skewered Dragon. You should ask around. You are much more capable of adventures than me. And he will hold his gut, which is a bit larger on the larger side of things, and he will look around at Krandren. Are you back at your? Were you reading something?
Sipping wine.
Sipping wine.
Sipping wine. Yeah. Are you just back to sipping there? Kind
Yeah,
of.
he went back.
Okay. Yeah.
He's
you will
kind of
look
muttering
around.
under his. He's kind of muttering under his breath as Volo's talking, like, when my book sells better. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if he did a little better research and maybe actually talk to some of the things that he wrote about, then maybe he would sell better. Just
Muttering.
just talking to himself, grumbling, and sipping his wine. So.
Yeah. He will look over at Krandren, look over at the other adventurers that help you dealt with the troll, and he will lean in a bit conspiratorially towards Grumbo and Gur and say, well, between you and me, I know 2 gnomes can do quite a lot, but, well, I don't know how dangerous it could be. Could be some kind of a conspiracy, maybe against me and my awesome book. Well, you should ask around and see if you can get some help, and maybe split the gold a bit. I know it can be hard to part with gold.
Your offer started at 60 gold. That's already pretty low.
I said 10 times that. When you get back here,
10
it's
times
Loon's alive.
60.
Yes, it's 600. 600, I believe. Wait, is that 660 total, or is that 600 total?
600 total. Well,
That sounds
when you come back, and if Loon is alive, if Loon's dead, that would be quite horrible.
Say,
would be quite
Volo,
hard.
if you had to guess exactly how many people we need to help us,
That is
could
up
you
to
put
you.
an
And
exact number on it, please?
Do you think 6 people is enough?
that does split the gold awfully evenly. So, I would say that is the exact amount you should go for. In this
Are there
deal.
any specific races or classes that you are looking for us to hire?
I don't know. Maybe find like a well-rounded group.
I say,
Pick amongst them.
have you seen any Dragonborn barbarians around?
Volo will look around the bar and he will point it out like I Spy. And be like, "Oh, over there."
You
That's
there,
awfully
friend!
specific.
Join us!
Yeah. Volo will move back a little bit.
I will one by one ask Volo about each individual racing class and point out people, like picking a dodgeball team, and invite them
Yeah.
to join us.
Volo will as this goes on, Volo will eventually be like, Grumbo, you haven't happened to fall into some bad groups of race ideology. As you
I
keep
just-
pointing out Hobgoblin.
I just thought you might
Kobold.
have something in mind, that's all. You're the scholar.
I don't usually pick based on such surface level. Anyway, well, come back here as soon as you can. Yeah. He will.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a problem with our? I would say our friend. He's not my friend. I've just met him. But do you have a problem with this man?
Well, I'm curious. Have you ever read any of his work?
No, I don't read monster stuff. That's boring.
Well, even just terms like that, monster. It's feels a little loaded. Very generalizing. How a lot of us are, and I'll lower the collar a little bit, show that he's a hobgoblin, put it back up. So.
Oh, that's my bad, sir. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, Volo will be whistling away and working on his novel and not seeming to pay attention to the conversation. Either he's purposefully not paying attention to it, or he's just blissfully ignorant of his
Comes
own
across as pretty
problems.
absent-minded. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
But I did overhear what you were talking about there. You in need of a little bit of help? So.
I mean, we could use some assistance, and there's pay, so that's good for you.
Well,
Or
I use it. It's
We're a completely fair work for fair play organization, non-race based. Hobgoblins welcome.
and two gnomes.
just for the
are
record,
gonna be
try to
running
keep it a little on the down low. Either way, I'm a little new to town, and I'm not sure how.
3 feet tall. Everything we do is on the down low.
Oh, it's too true. Too true, Grumbo.
Wait, am I still here?
Like cut out a second, I think.
Okay,
On
did
down low.
I go through or?
Yeah, let's keep it on the down low, and they said, basically yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. It looked like I lost connection for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Said we're gnomes and we're 3 feet tall, so we keep everything on the down low.
Yes.
I admire the humor.
Well, would anybody else like a job?
Well, you said the little one over there pushed that troll back into the hole?
Yeah, that
Like-
large woman.
Slight correction. Small
Marge, she's-
woman
She's
picked
5
up.
feet tall.
She's
Sort of
twice as
picked
tall as
up the
I am.
troll.
Fair. Okay, well, fine. Let's approach her then. So,
You approach her. She seems scary.
Yagra will come up and be kicking these sturges back into the hole.
Firing her, she's weird.
Yeah.
Excuse me, miss.
These will the young miss will kind of like slowly look over towards the gnome and make a really loud slurp from the straw that is stuck in her root beer, like
Forming a mob.
don't use words like that, please.
Would you like to join us?
Grumbo, manners, please. Young woman, I see you've been injured. Would you like some healing first before we start our conversation?
I wouldn't mind.
All right, here's a cat's cure wounds on her. For that much. Not a lot.
Cool. I'm very unimpressed.
How do you
At
cure
low level,
wounds?
it helps. Come on.
What's it look like? Is it some
I
kind
grab
of thing
out-
you put into the gun?
I grab out a stapler and I just staple the wound. And it starts closing slowly.
Yeah, a new invention.
I'm curious.
It normally works better. I think it's just a little jammed.
He's had a tough week.
This
It's
this young mess. This young miss is very unimpressed at the stapler that was just used to close up the wound. I'm being clawed, being mauled by a troll.
Now that you're feeling
that-
better,
You had a question?
would you have any interest in joining our mob?
Stop calling it a mob.
Yes, we're going to go down to
Please.
another bar and demand they turn over our friend Floon.
I think I think we'll blink once, push our glasses up, say, "Sorry, I'm busy," and then turn away back to my root beer.
Less interested now. Okay, anybody else?
Wait,
We
is
are
he doing? Is he doing what? It's like midday and you're drinking root beer. Can't be that busy.
I'm waiting for someone.
That's cool. That's great.
So you can see how much of a wrench it would throw in the plans if I were to change bars.
I mean, what were you waiting for? Again, it's midday.
I guess it doesn't make sense to you.
You're right, Grumbo. She's weird. Let's think of a different person.
Well, Volo, the large woman was uninterested in our advances.
Oh my
In-
god.
Yeah.
In the
Volo-
meantime, yeah.
What do you think she would do? Some gnomes, hey, you want to come with us?
Let's not a mob. Volo will turn around and say, "Oh, well, maybe another time." And he will suddenly seem to realize something as he says, "Oh, I have this old thing. It might help you out a little bit." As he gives you one old rusty health potion from his bag, and he'll say, "I don't do so much adventuring, and this is from my previous trip, so it may have a bit of an old taste to it, but
Thank you?
I just don't want you to die out there finding my friend, who's definitely wrapped up in something big." You will start sweating a little bit and go back to writing his book, researching and whatnot.
Grr, he didn't really say we were gonna die.
Yeah. Sort of gets mixed messages.
Sort of regret taking this job anyways.
Not even that much money. Make more money than that in like months. Yeah, I got a store. Let's just keep asking around, I guess.
Actually, I was gonna have Krandren approach Ebyn, so I'll hold off on that. So,
Oh, do it
Yeah.
up.
Nah, Ebyn just took a break and he's being.
Oh, he's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Roll a Krandren, roll a perception check.
perception. Okay. Not my best, I don't think.
Almost fell into the hole. That would have been dangerous.
11.
Okay, that's pretty decent. You see, it's hard to tell what they're doing with that perception check, but you see two familiar faces in the bar. One is Jalister,
Yep.
Silvermane, and you also see Mayloon War Dragon over here. Those
Okay.
are two faces you recognize.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, I came separately from them? They just happen to be here? Or...
Yeah, they happen to be here. Yeah, Jalister, you know, or Yalister, you know better than the other one.
Right.
You've met quite a few times. So yeah, that is something you notice. V's, you can also make a perception check.
Sure. I will perceive. Tell me what I perceive with a 8-7.
You don't perceive too much else.
How's the root beer taste?
Let's see. It's pretty decent. It doesn't have the sweetness of some other ones you've had. It's a bit more root than beer, unfortunately. Durnan will just be polishing a mug and walk on over and whisper a little bit, kind of interested, and say, "What do you think those little gnomes were talking about?"
I don't know. Some gnome stuff. It doesn't concern me. I'm here for something else. Barkeep, I thought there was a root beer bar here. Do you not get the same stuff? This tastes a little off.
I heard of something, some kind of gnomish thing. Bad for business.
Hey, can you tell me something?
Yeah, I'll turn around and...
Where are the, where can I find some people that work for the Order of the Gauntlet around here? I'm trying to find.
Order of the Gauntlet. Roll. Let's see. Let's see if you have to roll something. I don't think there's any reason to. He will mark it on your map. He will say, well, west of the market are the halls of justice. That's usually where the Order has set up. They are pretty open about taking new recruits if that's something you're looking into.
Not particularly, but thanks. I appreciate it. Now I'll flash him a smile.
Yeah. He will go back to serving other people.
Well, Gareth, any ideas?
I mean, we could go for Gigantor over there, I guess.
Gantor?
Gigantor.
Seems terrifying.
It
Lead
does
the
seem
way.
terrifying. Oh no. Oh, okay, I guess so.
As you're approaching them, Yagro will look over to you, Torin, and say, thanks back there. I didn't need your help. That little, well, human, I could have dealt with them myself, but thank you anyway.
Torin will have taken one of the napkins off the table and he's like wiping the blood off the back of his hand with it.
Yeah. Yeah, Yagro will take a seat again.
Excuse me, young man, old man. I don't know Dragonborns very well. How do you do, sir?
Torin will look over and he just doesn't see anyone.
Down here, please. That's all the way down. Yes, all the way down.
What?
Hello there. Well, we're setting out for a quest. This seems to be a kidnapping, possibly. Or a missing persons case, really. And we're looking to see if there are any interested adventurers to join us.
I don't mess with kidnappings.
Well, they might not be kidnapping. It might just be a guy got drunk and got lost.
Why do you need me?
Because we are tiny people, and you are very large, and we think you would be a great asset.
So we don't really need you, but you'll probably get pretty bored sitting in this bar while we go and do that.
And Torin will just look back at Yagra. And just, if I ever catch you throwing a fight in my ring again, you don't know what's gonna happen to you. And he'll stand up and he'll like slam his chair back underneath the table.
Roll a intimidation.
How loud was that?
It can use your strength. That
My
was quite
strength,
loud.
Thank God.
Yeah, so that would be a plus
Strength's a plus 3.
3. Yeah.
So 5.
Yeah. Even though being this huge dragonborn, this half orc seems like she's gone through enough. And she will mutter to herself, it wasn't like that. And we'll go back to drinking. Almost like she didn't want you to hear that. but she will go back to drinking. And V's, you will overhear this complication.
Okay, yeah. I think I'll perk up and look over at where that conversation came from.
The name of the barkeep again, is it Durin?
Durnan.
Durnan.
I'll make
Torin
it
will
so you
start.
can see.
He'll just start walking down towards like an empty spot in the bar, and he'll kind of like go up to the bar and go, Durnan. Yeah. Do you have a rag or something? This blood isn't coming off my hand.
Oh, well, he will look over and say, Bonnie, we need rags. And Bonnie will say, okay, got it, boss. And we'll go back, and fetch you some rags. And she will come back and, give it to you. Bunch of basically, little bits of cloth. Here you go, honey. And hand it off to you.
Thanks.
And keep serving.
I'll like
Keep wiping the blood off
I'll
his
like to
hands.
lean over to the Dragonborn and ask him in a hushed voice, someone through a fight?
Yeah,
Hmm.
not exactly what I like to deal with.
I have it on good information that you might be someone I need to talk to.
There's a lot of people that want to talk to me.
Can I talk to you?
As long as you're not like those gnomes over there asking about a drunk person.
I'll speak plainly. I'm here on a mission. I have it on good information, and I'll take a guess here. If I'm wrong, whatever, we'll walk away. If I'm right, well then we get to work. I'm looking for somebody that knows about throwing fights and is disgruntled about it. I'm here to speak to someone. I work with the dragon.
So, you know something about what I know? About what I do?
Yes.
Well, recently there have been a lot of people throwing in my ring, and I don't tolerate it.
It's not allowed. It's against the rules, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think, who do you think's behind it?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out. Not a whole lot of people really talk about it.
Well, I hope you don't mind me following you around for a while, but I'll be at a small distance until we can get to a quieter area. And we can talk
Okay.
about it.
And Torin will finish cleaning the blood off his hands, and he'll put the rag back down on the bar. And he'll just look at V's, and as long as you don't try to start stealing things.
Oh, no worries there. I punish those who steal. Theft is against the justice of the Platinum Dragon. May his scales shine ever bright.
Torin will just look at you like, and kind of raise a brow when you say Platinum Dragon. Platinum Dragon.
That's Bahamut, of course.
Yeah. Just never met somebody of your kind that really talks about them that much.
Well, the barkeep told me where I might find a bunch of people from the Order of Gauntlet. Do you know where I could find somebody like that?
Would Torin know?
Roll a history check. You know generally that there are numerous places, mainly temples, where the Order kind of stages their missions and whatnot. You know generally what the Order does, and that they are focused on rooting out evil, basically. Yeah, it's more religious stuff. You don't know much more than that.
Alright, I'll just relay that to V's.
She'll have this face like where she looks like she's come to a decision on something. Like, alright, maybe not. Well, hey, what's your name?
Torin. And he'll stick out his like giant dragon claw hand.
Shake that hand. You can call me V's. Everyone else does.
Is there a reason for it?
With like the moment you begin asking that question, she goes towards her scabbard that's hanging out her side, and with what looks like an extremely practiced motion, she flicks the hilt. That's looks kind of like a coiling ivy that forms like a crossguard. She flicks it out for a little moment, or for a little bit, and there's two runes that look like the letter V in common, and there's two of them. That's why.
Alright. It's good to know.
Durnan will walk over, not knowing the context of this conversation, and as he's polishing his mug, he'll just say, you do know that duels within the bar are, well, it's outlawed, so they would not fight each other in here as much as possible. I got in trouble for that a few times.
I know Durnan.
Yeah, you've heard of Durnan. He's a known adventurer, and probably drank here a few times as well. Do we want to pick up with Krandren and Ebyn?
Yeah, Douglas here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Krandren will work his way over to next to Ebyn along the bar, and he'll try to strike up conversation, just to mention there was some impressive work that he did there.
That who did?
Ebyn, I'm talking to you about,
Sure.
yeah, the...
Oh, well,
with the
thank you.
stones.
I don't know, I know this little trick, and it makes stones fly real fast and hurt things real bad, and they seem quite useful. So I use them.
Those weren't just any ordinary stones, though. I
Oh,
can
no,
tell.
they're magical, of course.
That is impressive. You strike me as someone who is an opportunist, like myself. I was wondering if you were looking for a job.
Oh, always looking for a job. Coins, my business.
Well,
Go and make some money and see it to the other side, then that's a successful day in my mind.
need to make it another day. See those two old coots over there?
Oh, yes, they seem like they can handle themselves pretty well, just as fine as me.
Well, they're trying to get some people together, and looks like there's a good amount of money waiting for us on the other side. What do you say?
Oh, well, how much money and what's the job?
Well, we're I forgot the person's name. It
Polo?
was-
It's Floon!
Well, not
Oh,
Floon.
okay.
I shout from
Magma.
across the bar.
Lone Magma!
Well, Volo over there, his friend Falloon, is apparently in a bit of trouble at a bar nearby. If we can go see if he's all right and get him together, we should be getting a good amount of money, at least 100 gold each.
100 gold each, just to check on someone in a bar nearby.
There might be some conflict, but I think you can handle yourself just as well as I.
Well, what's the numbers? I need a bit more information than this.
Well, we'll have to
Maybe a
scout
death
it out.
trap, for all I know.
You seem like the kind of person that might be able to do that.
And he'll think pensively, like shake his head back and forth. All right, but I won't shake on anything yet. I need more information before I commit to this.
A temporary alliance. Seems like the smart thing to do.
No,
Allow me
sure.
to introduce myself. My name is Krandren.
And Ebyn will hold out his tiny, tiny hand. Ebyn, at your service.
Pleased to meet you. Let's stick together.
Yes, I'd like to stay away from trolls in the future. I don't know if you have a preference about that, but
That was a bit extreme. A little much for me, but apparently, from what everyone else is saying, that small woman over there handled it? That's...
Oh yes, I saw everything from atop the bar. She picked it up and threw it. It was scary.
It's impressive. Might need some muscle wherever we're going.
Oh, I agree.
Well, let me introduce you to the rest of the crew. So,
Oh, of course. And he'll hop down from on top of the bar stool.
As you approach, you see Yagra is pretty drunk by now, and Yagra would look over to Grumbo, looking to be entertained by something, and say, "Hey, little gnome, do you do arm wrestling?" She'll laugh a little bit.
I don't. I'm afraid. I can dance a jig.
Yeah, she'll look definitely interested, as she will allow you. She'll make the motion of like, please make a performance if you want to dance a jig.
I will dance a jig.
Hey.
Pretty good
I'll
jig.
do my gnome dance on the table.
Yeah.
My old gnome dance, so it's just like a shuffle with a little bounce to it.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. You used to like fucking what's it called? The Scottish dance on a fucking rolling thing. What's it called? I can't even remember. Old jig, Scottish jig. Yeah.
river dance.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, river dance. There you go. Yeah. You're doing an old approximation of that. We'll shuffle.
What the fuck?
Work at the end.
Perfect. Amazing. Yagra will be laughing. Can't hold it back as the two approach.
Hello there, friends.
Talk made the middle state.
Well, I've got someone.
Oh, you found a recruit.
Yes. How's your luck been?
Very
Terrible.
poor. I was dancing for this large woman.
Well, maybe if you stop going up to everyone and calling us a mob, it might help us a little better.
I just thought it might be enticing.
Yagra will laugh and say, "Well, there are a lot of mobs down here if you haven't kept in the know. So, it's not that odd, I guess."
See,
What
What are you talking about?
totally normal. Say, Yagra,
Yeah.
you seem to have lost a job recently.
She'll lean in and whisper, "Don't talk too loud about that. It's not exactly that I lost it."
Yeah. Well, I certainly won't try to hire you for our mob then.
Well, your loss.
So
Oh,
uncivilized.
back.
Don't call us a mob,
All right,
please.
what should we call ourselves if we need a more enticing nickname? A band of merry men?
Bunch of buffoons.
An organization,
Ah,
perhaps.
yes, a bunch of buffoons.
Working title. Bunch of buffoons gang. New title.
I like it.
Gang, gang.
Bang,
Well, and I'll jump on the table and throw out this scroll that just has all the plans written down on it and go over it completely with Ebyn.
Okay. Yeah. Have you been scrawling a little plan of how to go down to this bar?
Apparently
Roll a history check to see if you know this place. Also, Gur,
so.
roll a
I'm
history
very
check.
smart.
Roll a history check at advantage, Gur, as you've lived here quite a while and frequent.
History check with advantage.
Yeah. Ooh, pretty good.
Nice.
You've definitely heard of
Nice.
this place. You have, at one time, let me get his name again real quick. Benolt, went down to this bar and you caught him there, and it's definitely a seedy place. So you told him not to go there again. There are mainly, it's like a sailor's bar. It's got a giant anchor going through it. You know exactly where it is, and you mark it on
Yeah.
Grumbo's plans. You correct his. He kind of put it in the middle of nowhere, like almost
Yeah.
in the ocean.
That's what I
Grumbo,
meant.
that's not even on the map. Did
It's
you put
been
your
a
glasses
while.
on? Oh my goodness. It's
Oh,
over
of course, I
here.
had it upside down.
Of course, sure. Yes, this is the location. Do you young men have any ideas of how we should go about this?
Young man, that's a word for it. Sure.
Young man, I am 300 years old. Most people are young men to me.
Fair in a comparison like that. It's
Out of curiosity, how old are you?
I would say, what, maybe 55. I don't know when I was born. It's
Oh, it's still pretty spry.
ish, you know. It's been a little while since I've been able to stretch my legs, but looking forward to, just getting back into the swing of things here. Getting to know Waterdeep a little better.
Interesting. And what about you, other young man? What was your name again?
Oh, Ebyn, at your service, and reaches out his hand.
Tiny hand for a tiny gnome. I appreciate this greatly.
Oh yes, we're about the same height. I don't.
Yes.
I normally work with people of such height as this gentleman, and he points over to Krandren.
Oh, yes. It's very daunting for us small people. Anyways, what do you think our first course of action should be?
DM, do I know this bar, this area? We're
I mean, I
You
would've pointed it out
make
at least.
yeah, you can make a history check as well. Are you from Waterdeep? I don't think we established that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say it's a normal roll. For reasons. You've heard of, as Gur explains, especially the anchor going through this this bar. You don't know the name, but you've seen the building before. So yes. You don't know
I've seen
too
it
much more
before.
than that.
Other than that, I don't know. I've never been in it.
A good idea. What's ruffians in there?
Well, I'm no stranger to rough and tumble, if that's what it comes to. I'm small, quick, quiet. That's a specialty that I provide.
That's nice.
They're small and slow. Quite loud.
Yes.
Could you
Quite
tell me a bit
unfortunate.
about the layout of this bar? So,
Well,
You guys don't know too much about the layout. You would know that it's a pretty open space with a bunch of old furniture and a lot of it being broken and dusty, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of people. It's never full. It's always a few people here and there. So yeah, you can relay that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think we might be a little bit safer on this if we have someone a bit bigger to take the brunt of things. I don't know about you, but I don't want to face a troll head on.
Every good job needs some muscle. An enforcer, if you will.
These muscle we've been talking to have been so rude lately. I don't understand.
We tried to hire a lizard and a giant woman, and they were not interested.
As this happens, it'll cut over to the lizard and the large woman, and then camera will pan over to Yagra, who is now very drunk, and will look over at Torin and say, hey, the more I think about it, the way you intervened in that fight was, well, it was my chance of getting back at him. Well, maybe if you prove yourself. Are you looking to make any money? She will hold her head a little bit, the headache coming in a little bit. Over at Torin.
Always looking to make money.
Well, yeah, she will think about it a second and look over at the gnomes over there and say, I don't know if those gnomes will know what to do with any money, but, well, I have you know about my organization. Maybe it would do you well to network a little bit. How about you beat me in an arm wrestle, and I'll introduce you to someone.
Fine.
What do you say? I
Fine.
didn't hear. Fine? Okay. She will move over to this table and move the dishes and whatnot aside. Okay, let's see. I want to try this new way of doing a competition.
Oh boy.
Oh, so
Okay.
is it gonna be a button masher?
Quick time event.
Yeah. Yeah, a Mario Party minigame opens up.
You're gonna hear me smash
yeah.
my desk.
Okay. Right now, we will use... Let's see. I wish you could see this. Let me do this.
Clearly now the rain is coming.
Excited to see how we're gonna do this.
Okay. And... I think this works. So if you guys right-click this commoner here, you can see its health, right?
Yeah. No.
4? No? You don't see a bar of health?
I can see the bar health a little
I see the bar. Yeah, I can't
Okay.
right click it to see anything
Yeah,
else.
but that's not. The right clicking
What I
isn't
could do.
adding anything to it.
Yeah.
So-
Do I double click? Do I double right click?
What are you trying to do, Gareth?
I think he's trying to do like attack.
I'm just trying to have like a number that can be shown, which will can I not edit this?
We're just gonna kill this woman.
Whoever
You to
kills
kill.
her faster wins.
Why can't I just make a bar?
I mean, it's a lot of health regulations. You got to get your liquor license.
I drew a 9 for you. Were you thinking of a different number?
Fuck.
Because check this out, we can easily turn it into an 8.
Whoa, that's some magic
Oh
if
my
I ever
goodness.
saw
I
it.
want it to
What about-
turn into a 5.
You could turn it into an 18 even.
You
Oh
could,
my
and then
goodness.
after that, the possibilities
No
are
way.
really endless.
Okay, this is way more work than it should be, but I'm okay. Let's say, okay, so if I go like this, then I go like this.
Okay.
Does everyone see the bar halfway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Okay.
see the minus
And
20.
now I right click and I see health.
Hey,
Nice.
25 health.
Yeah.
Okay. So what will happen is the arm wrestle will be you will both roll strength, and what will happen is we will take whoever has the bigger number. You're trying to get the bar to the right side. Jager's trying to get the bar to the left side.
Okay.
So the difference between them will Jager's trying to go negative. You're trying to go positive, as we will make strength rolls. As Yagra clears off the table, puts her elbow to the table here, and will make a strength check. If you want to make athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Nice. So 6 will be the difference as you start pushing. And she will be on the back foot. Let's make another check. Ooh, Yagra will push you back
Dang.
a bit.
Adjust it.
I'll turn around and watch, mildly amused.
Okay, let's make another strength. This is the trial run to see if this will. Ooh,
Ooh,
big difference.
perfectly balanced.
Yeah,
As all things should be.
minus 16.
Balance in all things.
Plus 16.
Yeah, plus 16. Let's see. Can I just do the math in here?
Yeah, you can just type it in.
Oh no,
You just
that
killed
was
her.
not
You
right.
just killed her for
Well,
Oh,
rest
God.
in peace, Commoner.
We can go back.
Go back.
Um,
How do I go back?
What is going on now? Sorry, this is the trial run. Okay, so it's plus 16.
Plus 16.
Do I have to delete and then do plus 16? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, as Yagra is being pushed on to the table. One more strength check.
Oh.
Ooh, and that does it.
Dang,
You
boy.
push all the way down, and Yagra drunkenly shakes her arm as she's yeah. The soap commoner goes flying away. Yeah. Yagra will shake her arm and say, fine, a deal's a deal. Technically, I'm not supposed to just go up, but okay, fine. And she will lead you. Cool. Do. Going across the well.
Krandren will follow, just from a distance, trying to listen in on whatever conversation might happen.
Yeah.
From a distance.
From a distance.
Stick with my small
yeah.
friends over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pick up that fish I shot a while ago. It's still usable.
Great idea.
Give a nod to Jalister as I walk past. Yalister, however you say it. It's
Yeah. You'll see. Roll a perception check.
okay. Skills perception. Nope.
Okay. You don't tell much from it. You see a conversation being had, and Yalister just says, I just want to make sure that Dunblade, well, I just hope that he gets, well, a proper set of things by the end of this. It's terrible what happened. And you will see a person across the table say, a shadowy figure, which is not on the map right now. They will
Shadowy
say,
figure not on the map. Oh shit.
yes,
Super
I don't have token art for them quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Such
yeah, so-
my perception was so low I can't even see them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they will just say, I'll assure you they'll get what's coming. And that is as much as you get. They're in the middle of some kind of conversation.
Hmm.
Yagra will approach this man right here, as they weren't in the conversation or anything. They will have their boots up. This half elf. Oh, actually, full elf. I believe I can show token art. Let me do that. Oh no,
Nice.
that is not.
Whoa.
That's
Hey,
not
nice
the thing.
license.
Interesting. I mean, I'm
Oh,
real
Seeing
close
into
up
the
to him.
Matrix right now. Oh my
I'm
god.
sure this isn't the robot from the one
I
shot.
believe I know.
That's totally him, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
The elf was like, let me
I'll
peel
face.
back the curtain.
Yeah. 13569. Yeah. 1001. Yeah, so this elf will have their feet up on the table. There'll be two martial artists looking kind of monk bodyguards kind of there. And Jaeger will say over let me pull this up.
I just told Torin that I was going to be following him, so I'm going to walk over and have a nice, comfy seat right there. Casually.
Okay, yeah, in the corner there.
Casual.
Yeah, Yagra will motion and say, Mr. Starsong, and the elf will prop off his feet and will give a look of recognition towards Torin, and Yagra will say, this is the Dragonborn that owned that fight club. Well, turns out he's pretty strong. I was wondering if you got any work for him. And Yagra will step back and allow you to approach Davil.
I'll walk up here next to him.
Yeah, let's make it so everyone can see his name. Yeah, Davil will look you up and down and say, well, were you raised in a barn or something? How about you have a seat?
I'll stay standing.
What a
Yeah.
power move.
He will look over at Yagra being like, is this for real? And Yagra will be kind of swaying a little bit from being drunk, and he'll just like sigh and be like, well, what is it then? Are you actually looking for work?
Yagra said that you might have some sort of work.
Well, there is something, but, well, it won't
Spit it
be
out.
easy. It won't be easy, especially for you on your own. You do seem, well, quite capable of bashing things together, but when it comes to actually thinking for yourself, well, that's up in the air. He does not seem intimidated by your giant size as he
What's that?
props up his feet one more time. I believe you've heard me. I don't know if you can, well, think for yourself. I understand you own that fight club, but, well, whatever happened there last night was terrible, to be honest, and he will look over at Yagra. Yagra will look a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Yes, well, many embarrassing things are happening within the Dark Ward. I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but someone's going around killing a bunch of elf and half-elf sailors. There have been 3 dead so far, each of them decapitated by a blade and by someone in the night. I've been looking into it myself, but, well, it would do you good and your fight club good to, well, look into it yourself. You wouldn't want one of your combatants to, well, go without a head. It might prove yourself some worth, but I wouldn't take on whatever this killer is alone. Well, you could, but, you know, I don't want you coming into a bar without a head. There's no gold in it, but it'll prove, let's just say I have some connections, so
What kind
It'll
of
prove.
connections?
he'll laugh a little bit and say, well, prove that you're worthy of knowing what connections I have, and I'll show them.
Guess I'll check it out.
Feel free to. As I said, maybe make some friends or bring some of your fighters with you, but I'm not sure if they could handle it. They don't seem very capable.
I'm sorry,
and-
what?
Yeah, you will put his feet back down on the ground and say, well, that fight was embarrassing. Yagra, and Yagra will come over. Yes, sir. And Davil will say, honestly, with that much of a showing, you would think that, well, representing the guild and all, that you'd put up a better fight than that. And, well, you're making us look bad. So, next time, and now you go losing in some kind of arm wrestling competition with this, and he will motion. And Yagura will once again look down at the ground, and Davil will prop his feet back up and motion Yagura to leave, and he doesn't seem to acknowledge your presence for a second there.
Warren will turn and he'll start walking away.
Yeah. Davil will smirk a little bit. I'm sure going through Torin's mind is, should I just throw this guy into the fucking well?
Yeah, it's definitely going through Torin's mind. He is upset.
Yeah, Davil is just drinking there. You do notice Fees in the corner, who seems to have been listening in,
I'm fake
as
reading
well
a
as
book.
Krandren.
Fake read? Can I tell that you're fake reading?
Roll a perception. And roll a deception, V's. Might as well.
Holy shit.
Get a load of this!
Pretty good
All
fake
black
reading.
Heist.
Yeah, you're looking at the words, even though you're not reading them. It looks like you're reading. Amazing.
I'm reading.
Yeah.
I've got kind of like a coy smile though. as if
I'll
I'm
look
being
over.
entertained by the book.
What are you reading?
Oh, it's a tale about some great heroine. She's got a golden sword and she's beating up all the undead and setting them packing. How about you? What are you up to?
Just finished talking with Mr. Pretty Boy over there. Apparently, people have been getting murdered around my club.
Huh. Does that irk you? I imagine it does.
They haven't messed with any of my fighters yet, but definitely concerns me that somebody's just killing random people.
And people are throwing fights and all that.
Yep.
This is your club, yes?
Hmm.
Pardon me, I don't mean to offend, but it sounds like you don't have a good handle on your club anymore.
Yeah. I need to figure out why people are throwing fights. It's tearing down everything I've built so far.
Well, I might be here to help you. I certainly hope I'm right anyway, and that I am.
Let's hope so. Hey, you see Mr. Pretty Boy over there?
Yeah? He was talking with the gnomes earlier. Oh wait, no, sorry. I thought you were talking to
Krandren is flattered.
I thought you were talking about Krandren for a moment. Yeah, behind you.
Blush.
Romance option unlocked.
Do you know anything about him?
That's a good question. Let me consult the powers that be.
Let's see. Do you know anything about him?
Have I been told anything? I probably don't like already. So if I do, it would have probably been given to me in briefing.
Yeah, you weren't advised about whoever they are.
No,
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
familiar
so
with them.
what do I know about him then? If I know
Roll
anything.
a history check, and let's see if you know anything more about him. Yeah. You've seen him drinking here quite often. You've seen him talking with a pretty big variety of people. Let's see, what else do you know? Other than that, you haven't really seen him or interacted with him.
Alright.
I will say, even with that one, you did notice him on the day of the fight, like by Yagra, supporting Yagra. So, other than that,
Would I know if he comes into my fight club often?
He doesn't seem to. You know that you haven't interacted with him for the fight club or seen him fight or anything.
Alright. And I'll just kind of explain what I know to V's about Mr. Pretty Boy.
So do we throw him in the well? You look like you want to throw him in the well.
Oh, trust me, I want to beat the fuck out of him.
After a display such as that, I can imagine.
Excuse me, actually. So, couldn't help but overhear a bit of your conversation there. So, hear you've been having some trouble.
Yeah?
It's a bit of a shame. It's Is there any chance that, looking for some help?
Are you looking to fight?
Fight? No. I prefer to stay... I prefer to stay in the back. I'm more of a planner than a fighter myself. I was wondering if I could give you a little bit of advice, perhaps. If you could just fill me in what your situation is. Consider myself a bit of a strategist.
Alright. Torin will motion you. Come over closer to him.
Sure.
So, you from around here?
I'm relatively new to town, actually. So I'm trying to get a feel for Waterdeep, kind of establish my roots. You seem to know your way around here.
Yeah, kinda been here a long time. Got a business of my own here.
A fight club, I overheard.
Yes, the Dusted Ruby.
It's very impressive. I'm sure you fought in. Have you fought in the ring yourself?
Yep. And he'll motion to like his snout that he has, that it's like covered in scars all around it, where he's had his lips busted a whole bunch of times.
I see you've had your fair share.
Yeah.
So, what has been going on lately? So, I overheard you mention throne fights, murders. So, seems like a very dangerous place.
It's been, down here, it especially is. It's not exactly where the up and holy people are.
And what does that fancy elf have to do with it?
Oh, Mr. Pretty Boy over there?
Yeah, him.
I don't know, but I've never seen him come into my fight club before, but he was there last night when one of the fighters took a fall.
That was the half-orc woman over there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are you familiar with any organizations that she's part of?
Would I know that?
Yes, you would know that they're part of the Zentarim, or the Black Network. They're names for the same thing.
Oh. Yeah, I'll explain to him how she's a part of the Black Network. Zentirium.
How much does Krandren know about the Zentarum, or Zentarum, however you pronounce it? It's
Yeah. Roll a history.
Okay. Let's see.
Is V's familiar with that?
Skills?
I imagine
History.
she would be because of her background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? Come on.
Oh,
Natural
no.
1.
Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
no.
You still get a
Yeah.
plus
News-
7 to it?
Damn.
My expertise is in history.
Oh,
Good
no.
tell.
Oh no. Both of you would know, even with a low roll, you know some basic stuff. You know that they're basically a mercenary company. And you also know that they were set up by some wizard a long time ago. You can't remember the name, neither of you, but yeah, some like dark wizard, evil wizard set up the Zentarim, and they're a mercenaries, thieves, spies, assassins, wizards. You also both know, even with your like small roll, you know that they've been cropping up in the dock ward more and more. So yes, that's what you both know.
A Zen, huh? You just let anybody fight in this. Well, I guess it truly is an underground fight club, huh?
If you've got the coin, I don't care where you're from.
Well, that lines up with... She doesn't finish her sentence, but she does sit straight
Are
up.
you? Are you sure that he doesn't have anything to do with it himself? The Zentarum are pretty shady in and of themselves.
I definitely believe he has something to do with it. He's never came into my fight club before. Frankly, it sounds like he frowns down upon it.
You think that was a threat to you? Maybe?
Well, if it is, let's just hope his fighting is good.
Seems like the kind of person that isn't often found alone, huh? Looks over at the guards.
Yeah. Hey, weren't you with those gnomes?
I am, actually. We were trying to get a group of people together for a small job. Check on a friend of Volo over there in a bar. Get about 100 gold out of it.
What bar are you going to?
I'm blanking on the name. What was it?
Skewered Dragon.
Skewered Dragon. There's a big anchor coming out the front.
Would Torin know about this bar?
Yeah, you don't even need to roll. You've drank there a few times. It's like a sailor bar, and it's fairly close to your fight club.
It's in the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that bar. It's a pretty rough place.
Well, it's the people that we have together. Although we are talented, I do have to admit we don't really have any muscle in the group. So, honestly, you two have more than proven yourselves during that recent bout against the troll. You, miss, I heard that you threw that troll down that hole. It's most impressive.
It was easy.
Well, we certainly could use help like yours. And if we're going in that area of the dock ward, perhaps we'll see some information on these murders that have been bothering you lately.
Yeah, that would. I'm sorry. What was your name?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It's social issues. Trying to get back to it. My name is Krandren.
Krandren. Torin. And he'll stick out his hand towards yours.
Pleased to meet you. And you, miss.
Close the book with a thump. These. Charmed, I'm sure.
It's a pleasure. What do you say? Shall we all band together?
They probably just won't let anybody in that bar, but I've been in there before, so I could probably get you in.
I'd feel much more comfortable with you two around.
Is there a clock, like a grandfather clock, so I can see what time it is, or is it not that quite advanced?
You know that the sun is setting, so yes, you'd know generally.
Okay.
It's reaching evening.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll come along. I suppose a detour won't hurt too much if I get to see more of the city.
Are you new here as well?
I just came in.
Looks like I'll have to show you two around.
That would
Appreciate
be,
that. Thank you.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. Out of character. Is there a door that's closed or anything, or do I see this?
Why are you looking in the bathroom?
Yep.
Oh shit, the wall. There's no wall there. Oh wait, there is a wall. Oh, you guys, yeah, there
What,
is
those are
a-
stairs. Oh, those are stairs going up, and then this is a separate door. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just because I gave vision to the whole map. There is something.
Just a guy taking a
happening.
dump. Is that Goss?
That's
Oh,
God.
Goss.
That's why I was pointing that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't notice it, but we hear like a bump coming from the closet. No one
Bagpipes
notices it.
coming.
Yeah, you hear like a horn sound for a second, but no one notices it. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
if we're gonna get to that bar, we should probably head out.
Just so.
We'll stand up.
Follow
and
me.
Follow. I'm looking forward to seeing much and more about the city. I'll need to be able to find my way around after all.
That's a good point.
What are you looking for exactly?
Who, me? I'm just looking for a person. Really just kind of waiting right now. I figured this would be a good diversion after all.
As Torin walks by Starson, he'll just look down at him. It's kind of glared.
As
Yeah.
Davil walks past, is there could he attempt a perception check just to see like what kind of equipment he's got on him?
sure, roll a perception.
Okay. Skills, perception. They've been really bad today. Let's see. And it continues.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Question mark level?
You do see a dagger on him, but other than that, you don't see much else.
So he's not like heavily armored or anything like that? Maybe.
Let's see. I believe he has leather armor on.
Okay.
Maybe. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like it tells me here. Yeah, he seems. Yeah, he seems to have some kind of defensive regalia. So, yeah, he has something on.
Do my best to size him up as I walk past. So.
Yeah, it's hard to tell more than that.
And Torin will just keep walking behind the gnomes, and as he's walking by their table, he'll look at them. Come on, guys, let's go to that bar.
Oh, Krandren, you've hired apprentices. Wonderful.
Not the word I would use, but
Not apprentice.
Definitely not on him. Do not use that word. Do not.
I hope you haven't offered them any salary.
Yeah, you will see.
Just the money that was promised.
As you approach, it would be Yagra arm wrestling the three of them at the same time, just comedically trying to push on them. And Yagra, as you guys leave, Yagra will just say, "Hey, good luck out there. It's been awfully dangerous recently," and she'll be swaying back and forth. Also, as you're leaving, you will see Yalister will see you leaving Krandren and will quickly approach you. And they will say, "Hello, Krandren. It's good to see they are letting you walk freely. I don't have any work at the moment, but I'll send word when things come in. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the Lord's Alliance gave you a good opportunity here. And there's this." And he will produce the insignia of the crown. And he'll say, "Even though you're simply a cloak, well, the Lord's Alliance will let you have this, and it may help you in whatever you want to achieve here. Just know that if you get in trouble, I will stand by your side. Just do the right thing." And you will turn.
Yalister, Krandren will nod to Yalister, accept it, and just keep walking. So.
Yeah. As he goes back to the table, we will see the shadowed figure reveal, just for the audience. As Harvey Jones
I missed that. No.
Harvey
is
just
giving legal advice to Yalister over here.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, we don't catch their conversation, unfortunately.
Damn.
Wow, that looks like a talented lawyer over there, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll have to remember him.
I don't see Hammer anywhere here.
As we're exiting, I'm gonna toss a small strip of paper that I have already prepared into one of the candle fires on the table. And it burns up immediately.
I'd like to buy the whole bar around on my way out. One on me, everybody! Yahoo!
The whole bar.
Yeah.
Durnan will look for payment, and then
I just got 60 golds from that loser up there. I'm rich.
Or actually, do I know who my contact is? Like, can I send something to someone I don't know? As long as they're part of the network.
Oh, your contact within the Bahamut?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Or the person that I'm supposed to meet. Can I send a note to them? Or are they not part of it?
In the Yawning Portal, or just in general?
With my network thingy.
Okay. Yes. How's it work again? Like, what's the wording on it? You can just come into contact with them.
Let me pull it up exactly. I basically just get to pass notes in class. Let's see. If you write a letter in a special arcane ink, address it to a member of the network and cast it into a fire, the letter will burn to cinders and materialize whole again on the person the agent you addressed it to. So do I know who I'm sending it to?
Yeah,
or is it just like somebody will contact you? Or do I have a specific person?
Yeah, there was a person who sent you on the mission in the first place. I don't think we'd really defined that, but one of the actual how's it said again? Bahamut. Yeah, there. It would be basically the person who sent you to Waterdeep in the first place, and the correspondence. Can you get messages from them?
Yeah.
Like in return?
Yeah, they just show up on my person whenever I get one.
Okay. Yeah, as you cast it into the flame, at some point as you're walking
The
in the next
the message
10
says
minutes or
change
whatever.
of plans. I'm taking a small detour. Have them contact me.
Okay. They will just respond by telling you to keep in contact with Order of the Gauntlet and just keep me informed.
Okie doke.
And yeah, they don't tell you much more than that. Cool. As you guys head out, if that's all there is you want to do here.
Whoosh.
Cool.
Away.
Cool. Grumbo, you will see on your on Lamb is basically a sticky note, and it'll say illegal equine parking, and it will say you should be careful about doing such things, and then you will see addressed is Harvey Justice for legal requirements.
I'll grab it and I'll crumple it up and I'll throw it into the back where it bounces off like 600 other parking tickets. And say, "Get in, losers! We're going to the Skewered Dragon."
Woohoo!
Yeah. Skirt. Cool. Back to Waterdeep.
And then we Tokyo drift on the way there.
Cool. So,
I wish Lamb was that fast.
marked on the map, you will see Skewered Dragon over here. So you guys can choose to head that way.
I always take Soothsayer's Way to the Way of the Dragon. It's much less traffic than taking Snail Street.
I know. Snail Street is so slow. It's always backed up.
Cool. You guys can head over there. Maybe we could. I'm wondering if it's kind of inconvenient to have everyone move on their own. We'll make Lamb like the everyone can control them. If that is fine. Let me get their character sheet. Lamb. Are you good with that, Cam? If everyone.
But yeah, I don't
move
care at
on
all.
Just for like a map marker.
Lamb is a donkey. He's just a tool for everybody, you know?
Yeah. Of course. Okay.
He holds no allegiances.
Everyone's got Lamb control. Cool. Yeah, for the sake of this, yeah, as you exit the Yawning Portal, you'll see traffic around and people moving mainly from there's some different like pubs here and whatnot, different inns. A lot of inns are in this general area. You also see Castle Waterdeep, which is up here. Make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. And in general, Waterdeep raises up to a high point of the castle. So basically everything from the castle goes down in elevation as you get further away. So that's just generally how things are structured. As you guys are going down the way of the dragon, you will also see the Honorable Knight, which is one of the big statues of Waterdeep. This is kind of the art for that. Has his shield held and is kind of surrounded by a bunch of buildings that were clearly, some of them being built afterwards and cluster around him. You guys, as you reach the street here, you have to actually hold for some traffic. Who's riding in Lamb's cart? Are the three smaller creatures
I am.
riding
Yeah.
along?
I am.
If Ebyn can fit, hell yes.
Yeah. The three of you can definitely fit any of the bigger people, and Lamb may be able to pull one of you, but this cart is pretty small.
Torin's very comfortably walking.
Yeah, Lamb is like pushing pretty hard to carry these three small people, and you guys can just literally walk beside it at like a decent pace. You'll
Krandren
see
will
the way.
walk, but he's probably going to get winded along the way. So
Oh,
Yeah, actually, so one thing to bring up is from the very bottom of the dock ward to the very north, it actually takes, it's a 2-hour walk. So
Cool.
potentially 3 hours with like traffic and whatnot. So it's not a insanely huge city where it's like a whole day to cross it. So
Okay.
yeah. As you reach the Way of Dragons, you have to hold for traffic as these big drays go by, which are like the like double-decker bus, like with a lot of people on it and these powerful horses, which kind of push along the way. And we will see if you get a random encounter as you're going down this way.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah.
Pizza monster.
So do you guys all walk along the Way of the Dragon? Is a more busy street in the dock ward. As far as streets go, though, the high road is the most populated, especially up here towards the castle ward and the north ward. The dock ward is a bit less populated and a lot more workers and whatnot. Cool. So you guys head south along there. You guys can keep moving. At some point along here, you see a bunch of guards diverting traffic. And let's see.
I'd like to attempt to use my gnome sirens.
Cool. Would
Tell
this
them,
be
official gnome business, move aside!
cool? Did Gur make these sirens?
No, it's an
Making a loud
illusion.
noise.
It's
Oh, okay.
just an illusion.
Oh, minor illusion. I think minor illusion, unfortunately, does not have.
It could be a lion's
Sound.
roar, beating
It does.
drum.
Oh, it does
Yeah.
have sound. My bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you make the siren sound. Yeah, as you turn the corner, you see it. The street has been cordoned off by the city watch. And looking ahead a little bit as you're making this siren sound, you'll see lying on the cobblestone are half a dozen corpses, seemingly
Jesus.
victims of some
What?
terrible skirmish. The watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning the witnesses. One of the guards goes up to you. Let's see if I can get guard quick. Here, you will have a guard. And he will say, "Get on now, nothing to see here. Stop making such a loud noise." And you will motion for the detour and say, "Unfortunately, you can't come through this way."
We're on official gnome business. Move aside.
He will laugh a little bit and say, "Oh, official no business then. Well, now that that's said, you can go right on through." And he'll laugh as he looks to another guard who doesn't seem to
I kick
move at all.
Blam to keep moving since he's given us the okay.
Yeah. The guard literally like puts his hand out and stops the little donkey from moving forward just with one arm since it's so small, and says, "I would advise you to move aside, or else you'll be obstructing the law, and we wouldn't want to have that."
Well, how are we going to turn around now that we've gone this far?
Yeah, we'll zoom out, and the street will be pretty clear, and there'll be you're a very small vehicle.
Okay, fine.
I think you should turn around.
Fine, we'll go on the dangerous street.
Very dismissed. It's not very dangerous. He'll look to his other guard and laughs a little bit.
Seems pretty dangerous that 6 people were murdered around here, but you know.
Yeah.
And Toro
Can you tell me what happened here?
Unfortunately, that's, well, God business. He does not seem to recognize you or anything.
Excuse me, I live nearby here. I feel like I deserve to know. What has happened here?
You know what? Krandren will hold up his little badge that he just got. So,
So you know that the guard
What are
and
the-
the Lord's Alliance, the Lord's Alliance insignia. Make sure you have that in your inventory.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
So the guards aren't directly associated with the Lord's Alliance, but they do work in cooperation. So as you show this badge, the guards will look at each other for a second, first not taking these gnomes seriously at all. They will in response to you being like, I live here, they'll be like, don't you worry, we do a good job over here. You're safe. Just keep inside. There's been an awful lot more violence going on around here, but you'll ask where you live, and if you say,
Like,
do you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
do
I
you
live in the shop.
Okay, you
It's
live in the
like-
shop.
Yeah, there's like the main shop, and then there's like a little basement. That's where I live.
Yeah, he'll say that if you go directly south, that this area has been known for more violence, and that he assures you that there is a lot more guard postings around where you live. You're not sure if he's telling the truth or not, but that's what he tells you.
Okay.
The guard will look over to Krandren, and he will just say in a more hushed tone, this has to deal with I'm sure you've noticed it, the warfare between the gangs. Frankly, we've been trying to keep out of it. If they want to kill each other, it's up to them.
Which gangs are involved here? The Zentarum?
Well, we've been beginning to assume that it's the Zentarum and, well, Xanathar. He will motion to the corpses. He's not especially letting you through, but he just motions to have you notice that the corpses seem to be of two alliances and like two general clothing that they wear and whatnot. He'll say, been more fights cropping up recently.
I see. Shame it's causing such a mess.
Yes, well, hopefully they kill each other a bit faster. He'll look over to his guard and who's in the same assignment as him, and they'll laugh.
At least just keep it out of this. At least they could just keep it out of the streets. But thank you for keeping us safe. So
Yeah, he'll nod with that compliment. Finally, someone's paying him compliments for doing his job, not yelling at him and playing gnome sirens.
all right, come on,
Cool.
everybody, let's go.
Yeah, you all detour around it. Move a street over. It seems like.
Seems like no matter where you go, it's always the same.
Ah, yes, the high road. Of course. We turn southbound.
Yeah, heading southbound.
Yeah,
Pleasant Park streets.
just took out the Yawning Portal.
Tomato. Cool. Yeah, you guys can keep heading down.
Making great time, Lamb. Good work.
Yeah. As you reach the Skewered Dragon, nothing. You don't run into anything along the way. And we will take you to the Skewered Dragon.
What was the pizza monster in the ocean?
Yeah.
There be dragons.
There be dragons. Yeah, you see the Skewered Dragon ahead of you.
Yeah.
It looks like a ruin almost, with a lot of the stonework being quite old. Both its front-facing windows are smashed, and there's a ship anchor, which I couldn't find a drawing, is lodged in the roof. through the windows, you see a group of haggard patrons, and they're drinking from huge tankards. And yes, that's what you see ahead of you.
Just let me stay in the front, and I'll get us in. Don't
Yes,
do
please. Go ahead, take the lead.
don't do any of these weird siren things, okay? They'll tear you limb from limb.
I've been to a bar before.
You haven't been to this bar before.
I think I've been to this bar before.
Have you now?
Yes, my son, he's a free spirit. He likes traveling around rough bars. It's a thing he does.
I didn't want to embarrass our friend Volo, but isn't the Skewered Dragon a bar for people with certain, and I'll glance at the Dragonborn, interests?
You trying to say something?
I think Volo was here to find a friend.
Ah,
And what is his friend's name?
Well, we'll just stick to Floon for now. Let's go inside.
Cool. You guys all head in, it sounds like?
Yep, going in.
I look
Cool,
around
yeah.
for some junk. Just some nice junk. Looks like a junky place.
Sure, it'll take you a little bit. You might not be there for the conversation, but if you're fine with that, you can make a investigation.
Skill of investigation. Where is it? Dang
Ugh.
it.
Okay.
Very astute, friend.
Yeah.
So much junk around. It's all useless.
Yeah.
Investigation, I'm good at that.
Yeah. One thing you notice is that that like this place, it seems like everything's been picked apart. That even the candles in like the street lamps have been taken. There's like a guild associated with like putting the candles in and keeping them. And people have stolen them in this part of town.
Nothing
So it
sacred.
seems like, yeah, unfortunately there isn't a lot of scrap around. As you guys head in the bar, you'll see, a gathering of pretty quiet sailors look in your direction. The barkeep will be polishing one of the cups that still looks dirty, with this like salty, briny water, and will just kind of huff in your direction.
So it's not a Dragonborn brothel.
It's unclear. Maybe they are hiding that part of it.
I guess I was wrong.
See your friend here?
I look around for a very long time, and then I look at Gur and I say, what does he even look like?
He has red hair. Supposedly a handsome man.
Do we see any handsome red-haired men, Gareth?
Roll a perception check.
Can I help him?
Hotness
So-
check.
Or am I still
Yeah,
outside?
yeah,
of the
sure.
door?
Oh yeah. You're
I would like
You're in
to
the
call
background.
upon the tides of awesome.
Oh god.
Is it an attack or is it anything? I believe it might be attack.
I think it's ability checks.
It's
too.
anything.
Oh really?
Except
Oh,
for
okay.
damage, yeah.
Okay. Oh
Oh,
god.
that's-
Immediately explodes.
Okay. With an 8, you see that you're not really a judge of how people look too much, but nobody here is hot. Hotness check failed. But I
There are
get
no
to,
attractive men here, Gur.
wild magic. Can you give me that table again? I need to bookmark it.
Uh-oh, yeah. Hold on.
You at least get your Tides of Awesome back immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we said 3 uses on that, but between short rests.
Oh.
That's what we decided on, so I couldn't just use it every single time and
Yeah.
cause wild magic nonstop.
Okay, let's see here. Oh man, you lose proficiency in all skill rolls for 1d4 hours.
Body.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
Feel quite weak, Ger.
2
Oh,
hours.
what
Yeah,
seems
okay.
to have
For
happened?
2 hours, you feel bad at everything you do, or average.
Can we remember to what is that? Subtract 1, or just subtract
It's
anything I'm
2.
proficient at? Okay, just
Yes.
can we remember that for every roll so I don't have to edit every one of my skills?
Yeah, we'll just remember it. If you're
Okay.
proficient, we'll take away the proficiency.
Got it.
So you don't see your friend here?
I'm colorblind and not attracted to men, so attractive redhead actually, in hindsight, wasn't the best descriptors we could have gotten for him.
Torin will look like kind of a little stunned to what he just heard. Have you tried? You want to ask the barkeep?
I look at the barkeep. How terrifying is he?
Extremely terrifying. Well, not terrifying especially. He's just like wrinkled. He looks like a raisin. He's a human, but very wrinkly, salty sailor.
I look back to the conversation and say, I would not like to ask the bartender.
Ah, come on. Fine, just follow my lead.
I follow his lead.
Okay.
And I'll
as
walk
you
over to the
approach-
bar.
Yeah, as you approach, they'll say, "Our specialty is the sailor spirit.
I'm
It's
not
for
looking.
5 nibs."
I'm good.
I'm good.
He'll scoff a little bit, be like, "Okay then. Well, you're not here to drink."
I have a question.
Yes, we have a question.
I'll reach down below the bar and I'll grab you by the scruff of your like shirt neck and I'll pull you up and I'll set you on the bar. He's got a question for you.
Okay then. Questions usually come with costs as well.
What's your price, sir?
That isn't how it usually works.
I suppose I'm not familiar with how it usually works. We're looking for a red-headed man named Floon. Apparently he's quite popular with the ladies.
Mayhaps I've seen him, mayhaps I haven't.
Mayhaps you've seen him.
Visa's gonna like rest her forearm on the sword / satchel that she has on her side, looking kind of agitated and restless.
Okay.
Have you seen him or not?
Yeah, the sailor will look over to the other sailors that seem to be minding their own business. Roll. It seems like you're both trying to be intimidating, both the barbarians. So if you both want to roll intimidation with strength.
Strength plus 3. 21.
Nice roll.
Oh no, it'd be
Nice.
22.
yeah.
I have a 15.
A 15 and 22. Yeah, for what makes sense, he seems to be more scared of the huge dragonborn, although the weapon does seem to put him off as well.
It's got a
He'll
spinny
say-
keychain on it.
Yeah. Oh my god, the keychain. Yeah, the sailor barkeep will sigh a little bit and say, "Well, if it gets you onto my bar, then I guess what will you have you know about such a thing?"
Apparently he's gone missing in your establishment.
I believe he did. What was his description again? Red-headed?
Quite attractive.
I believe he was with that Volo person.
Yes,
who writes a
Volo.
bunch of books. I don't happen to know how to read any of them, but he was with that red-headed boy. They stayed here a little while. Volo left, and then, well, the redhead met with someone else. He's trying to recall. I believe it was Rainier Neverember, son of Waterdeep's previous lord. You may have known him.
I recognize you're not a reader, but could you spell that, please?
Okay. Rainier Neverember. So, Floon met up with Rainier. And he will say, chip off the old block, that one. Just another spoiled rich noble who likes to rub our nose in it. No wonder he got whatever was coming to him.
Oh, so you're saying we might be wasting our time looking for him?
I am not too sure, but what I do know is the two drank, played a few rounds of 3 Dragon Ante before leaving around midnight. And, well, 5 men followed them out.
Who were the 5 men? You recognize any of them?
Yeah, I'll be trying to recall. I believe they had some kind of serpent tattoo. I believe that's all I know. No one in the tavern has seen them since then, or at least I haven't.
Alright.
What
Does Torin recognize anything about a serpent tattoo?
Same question.
Yeah,
But
you
as far
can
as,
both
being
roll
briefed.
history checks. Ew. Yep, people get tattoos of scary things.
Fair enough.
If you'd tell the rest of the group, maybe?
I feel like
So-
I feel like that tattoo is our lead, but I can't quite place.
Any more questions, Gnome?
Well, any idea which direction we could head to find them? And I'll slap a gold down on the bar.
This definitely gets his attention. He's very squinty, but even this opens his eyes wide as the wrinkles on his face all distort around, and he'll say, "Oh, why did you do that in the first place?" As he moves it over, or he attempts to grab it, as he says, "Well, now that you got my brain going a bit faster, I believe frequent Candle Lane. If you go up around there, those men."
On Candle Lane, you said?
Yes, Candle Lane. It's awful dark around there, so
Perhaps
maybe
we'll go during daytime.
he'll
Scared of the
chuckle a
dark?
little bit. Yeah. The sailor will chuckle a little bit and say, even during the day, buildings are so close that sun doesn't reach down that far, except on high sun.
Perhaps we'll go at high sun.
Suit yourself.
Usually, when you're trying to find someone, the longer you wait, the less chance you have of finding them. Why don't
I
we go
must
now?
admit, I took this job with very little experience.
Do you have any more questions, Gnome?
How much for a beer?
No.
Well, we got the Sailor's Spirit or the Salty Dog Ale. It's 1 shard.
1 sailor spirit, please.
Okay. Yeah, you will bring it out. It is very powerful, and it has a lime taste as he gives it out to you.
Limey.
Limey.
Shall we be off then?
I believe so. And Torin will grab old man Gur by the collar again, and I'll put him back on the floor.
Well, nope. That's Grumbo.
Oh no, Grumbo. Never mind. Yeah.
Grumbo.
Grumbo. Sorry.
Grumbo.
Limey. Cool. As you guys exit out, and old man Gur appears out of a bunch of trash that is not worth anything. Bunch of cloth scraps.
Yeah, I'm still putting stuff in my bag, just in case.
Yeah.
Random
Might
scraps.
as well. Yeah, cloth can cover a wound, even though it's all dirty. Who knows? We'll figure out something. Cool. We will go back to the map.
To Candle Lane!
Oh, you guys
are
already
we-
done?
Are we playing for another hour, or are we quitting in 8 minutes?
Was
Or-
it 10:30 cut off or?
I thought it was 10:30.
When is our new end time?
Yeah,
About
that
38
depends.
minutes.
Started at 7, go to 10:30. I thought it was 3:30. It's like the hours.
Well, 10:30 for me. It's I'm
3 hours and 30 minutes total playing time.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, so 38 minutes was the thing. Okay. Cool. Yeah, as you guys exit the Skewered Dragon, you will see up a couple streets another interesting kind of shop that sticks out. Let's see here. Compared to all these other dusty colored shops, you will see a purple, like a deep purple facade of one of the buildings. And in the windows is a stuffed beholder. And above the door hangs a sign with elaborate letters, and it says Old Zoblob Shop. And it has a, what's that spell again? Continual flame to give it a neon glow. And you just see it as you pass by.
Where is Candle Lane?
Candle Lane is up here. Oops.
Oh,
One
okay.
Half of the X. That's one. The other half.
Oh,
Boom.
right back
Check.
where the violence was.
Dragon maps.
Great.
Viz is making a mental note of where that shop is because she needs that beholder.
Yeah, it's a pretty big beholder. As you guys bring Lamb up that way, if you guys are heading north, you will see that the beholder is not like a plushy beholder, but actually like a taxidermied
never
beholder.
mind.
As you look
Jesus.
closer, yes, it is. It was a dead beholder. And let's see, Grumbo, you can
That
make a history
is
check to see if
fascinating.
you know this.
Okay.
And Gur, you've seen this shop, and you know that it has a new owner.
Mhm.
It's been here for quite a long time. You can't remember when the beholder was put up, but it's like a trinket shop. It's actually a little bit of a competitor to your business, but they have some interesting stuff. They don't usually sell anything but these weird knickknacks and antiques.
Okay.
I would like to cast Minor Illusion as we drive past. We're driving past, right?
Yes, we're driving past.
I'd like to cast Minor Illusion as we drive past and make it look like the front of his store is on fire.
That's quite nice. Quite
Isn't
nice,
that-
Grumbo.
Isn't that a form of vandalism?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you if fake fire is vandalism or not.
Technically,
We'd have to
real.
consult Harvey for that.
Some kind of disturbance?
Roll a deception check. Holy shit.
At 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You will see this old gnome come out of the front of the shop. Let me get him. As you're driving by, you see this old gnome,
Whoa.
and
What is that?
he has
He's
a
wiggling.
bunch of eye tattoos on him. Yeah, it's wiggling. And he will blow out a puff of lavender smoke from this pipe as he's emerging from it, and he goes, "Oh man, what's going on to my shop?" And he just he like sits on the curb and watches these illusionary flames burn. He doesn't seem to be putting it out or anything. He just seems kind of hypnotized by it.
This is my biggest competitor. It's a shame.
Shame to see his shop go up like that.
Oh, such a shame. Anyways.
Cool. You guys keep going up towards Candle Lane?
Yeah.
To Candle Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't run into any problems along the way. But as you approach, like that sailor said, this gloom seems to envelop this narrow alleyway. And it becomes as dark as a dungeon. And also quite odorous with this strong smell of, shit. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is the faint flicker down the lane of some distant candle. There's these tall, clumped buildings, and as you approach further, you will see a warehouse with a black winged snake painted on.
Okay, could Krandren do a check on that iconography of the winged snake?
Sure.
Okay. That's history.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, you would know that this is a Zentrum, a sign of the Zents.
Is there any of you who need help seeing? I can make a rock glow a little bit.
Please.
Oh, okay.
That would definitely help.
We should be mindful. This seems to be the territory of the Zentrum. It's one of those. Remember those bodies that that were in the that were out not too long ago? Yeah, one of those guys.
Well, they won't be happy.
You give the stone to someone, or
Yeah. No, I'll give the stone to someone. Who wants it?
I'll be okay. I think that can go to V's.
Yeah, I'll take
Right.
it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Here you go.
Thanks. I'll hold
Actually,
it along.
I'll go ahead and make two. Did Torin also need one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just cast two of them then.
Cool.
There you go.
You both light up as you put this magic rock into a pouch. Okay, I believe
Well.
you're both lit up.
Should we knock?
Yeah.
Probably a good
Maybe
idea.
we should, scout out the area, see if there's another way in.
Hmm.
Oh, yes, I agree. The first
That's a good
thing
idea.
any good job has is a good stakeout. We need to know what we're dealing with, how many, where, when.
I mean, I think we're just here to ask questions, aren't we?
This is a little fishy to me. I think we should maybe check around a bit, make sure it's safe.
Sager,
Yes.
where are we?
We're remember those grisly murders like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago? We're right about there.
You'll see that this fence right here is partially open. It's clearly not locked. You can push it open pretty silently if you want. There's a yard you see up ahead.
Is this a fence over here? That's
Yeah, these are all
okay.
fences.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's this little yard portion, and you'll see 3 entrances just immediately. One of them is a painted door up here, a warehouse door, and another smaller door next to the warehouse door. Yeah, that's what you immediately see.
Well, shall we circle around a bit?
I'll see why not.
Mhm. Probably.
All right, Krandren wants to go that way.
We circle
Go,
around.
go, go. Do I find any good junk?
You can roll a investigation once again.
You guys are going to be hearing this. Why
What are
not?
What are you looking for anyway?
Well, just some spare pieces that I can use. Oh my goodness.
So, I can help you if you want. So.
I would greatly appreciate some help. I'm looking for materials. I repurpose things. Anything that looks like it can withstand being reshaped or reformed.
Okay, well, how about this?
Considering how much Gur loves trash, it would be great if the lower his rolls were, the more useful the stuff was. It's like, oh, an old rusted spoon, of course!
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Krandren, you find something you're not sure how useful it would be. You find a random thing. Let's find the random thing that you find.
Boy.
Let's see. Come on.
Trying to be as quiet as possible while doing this too. But
I mean, obviously.
Quietly
it's
reading
uncharted
trash.
territory.
shuffling through someone's garbage,
Can I
Okay.
peer through a keyhole a la Harry Potter movies? Or any old movie? Can I look through this old-timey keyhole?
Where at?
In this door. Is this not
Right
a
there?
door? Yes.
It's a fence.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I
fence
thought the fence was up here. My bad.
Yeah. You could potentially listen. You
What
could also
could I see through this fence?
Yeah, you put your eye to the hole in the fence, and magically you can see through to the yard. You see grass in the yard, patchy grass. Trying to get this. loot
No other
table.
entrances.
Hmm.
Is the gate locked?
The gate is unlocked. Let's see where.
Is there a second floor?
Grumbo accidentally pushed it open. I mean, it just like blew open with the wind, just about. There is in fact a second floor to this. Yeah, as you go completely around, there doesn't seem to be any other entrances. You do notice windows on the second floor, on the north side here. There seems to be like a balcony, and windows up there.
How higher up are the windows?
Well, 1 story high. Let's say, probably being a warehouse, it's maybe like 15 feet up.
How tall
Floors are a bit bigger.
How tall is Torin?
Torin's 7.5 feet tall.
I would like to
Monster.
when Torin moves close to the side of the warehouse, I would like to jump on top of Torin's shoulders and then jump off of Torin towards the windows. Pardon me?
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So you jump towards the windows?
I'm jumping
Are the
on
windows
top
over
of
there?
Torin to get the extra height, and then I'm jumping towards the windows.
Okay. So I believe a vertical jump is like based on your strength score.
Yep. I can jump. I can jump high 6 feet, and then I can grab something like. Let's see here, maybe like 9 feet up.
Okay.
The math checks out.
No, I can grab something. 5 plus 7. I can grab something 24 feet off the ground if I'm jumping off of Torin.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say you manage to grab the lip of the window up north. So you go up here.
Let me get over there.
Now I'm just picturing people jumping actually 6 feet in the air from standing.
Oh my god.
It's
Which window
insane.
was it?
It's-
Where exactly would it be? Like right here?
It
This
would
is
be
Super
right
Mario
here.
Brothers.
The balcony overhang is right here. So
Okay.
Adventurers are amazing people, don't you know?
you guys,
So
you can
does
only
the
see
place
your
look
own
abandoned?
vision.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. From the outside, it doesn't have very many windows, so it's actually quite hard to see in, except for on the second floor.
Okay.
Like you can't see in from anywhere else.
No,
Is
that's-
V's jumping for an open window or a closed window?
All the windows are closed, but
now that I'm up here, I would like to take a breath, calm myself, and take a peek in.
okay. I gotta pee real quick, but you do grab onto the ledge of the window and take a peek in. I'll pee
Okay.
real quick.
All right. This is fun.
You're just hanging on the ledge of a window.
I hope I pull myself up.
Nah, you're just hanging there.
I mean, that's fine too. Just be like, beep.
You're hanging there, and Torin's just pissed off underneath you because you just randomly jumped on him.
I said, pardon me.
You did it after you jumped on him, though.
It was as.
As you were jumping on him.
I'm just disappointed we didn't go the hurl a midget route. Sorry for the offensive language there.
It's not
But,
like, it's not like
I
this is
honestly
heavy.
thought that's what I was going to end up doing to Ebyn.
fastball special. Yeah.
Like the like just straight vertical. Ooh.
I can't wait for fastball special. There are many prime targets.
Gonna use the gnome.
There's a
bowling
special.
ball.
Ebyn has a special way to assist with the fastball special.
Yo.
That's pretty cool.
My god.
Nice.
Okay, you managed to grab the side of the window, which is here. We're going second story,
Oh, he's up.
which is up here. The window is unlocked.
He's
You
off the grid.
see a-
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you see
Really,
a
we have
rat
no clue what's going on.
scuttling around. These seem to be offices, but a lot of the desks and chairs have been flipped over, and don't seem to be used in quite a long time.
I'll see the rat and very calmly and collected mutter to myself, eek. And then I'll look down at the party, kind of shrug, and do some like, there's nobody here motion. And then
Should we go around to the front door? It's a
I'm more of a front door type. Not really a
Although,
jump
I'm
15
not,
feet
I'm not
type.
very comfortable with leaving one of us up there alone. Can someone else go up there too?
Who wants to go up?
I don't think I can.
Oh, I can.
Evan
I'm
looks
fine.
like he can handle it.
Small and
You want to go up,
This-
Ebyn?
Oh yes, of course.
Torin will lean down and he'll stick out the palm of his hand.
Hold on to this backpack real quick, and he'll like take a few items, stick them in his pockets, and set his backpack on the ground.
You ready?
Yes.
And Torin, in just one quick motion, will just kind of like, just like throw him up there.
Yeah, he only weighs like.
Okay.
Ebyn himself only weighs 30 pounds.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Roll
eats
a athletics DC 12. This isn't if you can throw him. This is if you can aim.
Okay.
Not put him.
Please.
Oh, good to know.
Oh no.
Can I, if he's off, can I like reach out and try to grab him or
Fastball.
something?
Don't even throw him up. I sling him right into the side of the warehouse.
He threw the curveball.
Let's see. Debating. I was debating whether you go through the window, but you just flat against it as you take a D4 of damage. You manage to clamber and keep yourself on the side, but
Nice.
you do splat on the side a little bit, and
Ugh.
yeah, his aim was very bad. But you don't. Nothing more happens.
I'm impressed with the strength, but you might have to learn how to control that.
I don't normally throw people 15 feet into the air unless I'm trying to hurt them.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
4 damage.
You
Like I
sort
said,
of made it
very
seem
helpful.
like you do. You sort
you
of made
wanna
that
go up?
seem like... No! I think I'll use the door.
Exactly.
Let's hope the door is unlocked.
We're going to the door.
The mousy woman will give the kobold a thumbs up.
Mhm.
What is
Krandren will aim toward a door that's more in the direction of where they were. So going.
So how does this work? Like we're on a ledge.
Just chilling out.
Yeah, you're on like an overhang balcony.
So these can't see me right now, right?
They actually can. I believe there's enough light where they can see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the rest of
So-
us can't see what's going on the second floor, right?
No idea.
Are
Okay,
you?
cool.
Do you have dark vision?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
He's
But
got a
you have
magic rock.
stone.
Oh,
So
and instead
actually-
I took proficiency in a skill, but I forgot. I didn't mark what it was yet. But I do not have dark vision because I took proficiency. in a skill.
Okay. So this dim vision you would not have in this dark.
Yeah, I've got a. Okay, yeah. Turn off.
Yeah,
my
you
dim
hear
vision.
the kobold hitting the side of the wall and
Okay.
keeping on, not falling.
Okay. In that case, thank you. I do not thumbs up or anything.
Can I walk across towards these?
Yeah, you can shimmy
Okay.
along the side here. There's like a little it especially can hold your weight. There's like a vent or like a rain duct.
So as I get closer to V's, just kind of point at her and then like motion up and through the window.
I would like to go in.
Sure. Yeah, the
And,
rat will scuttle
right-
away.
Right behind V's.
Okay. Beep beep.
Cool. Yeah, there's a door of this office. Yeah.
When the kobold gets in here, I'll turn to him in a hushed tone, like, I don't think we've been properly introduced. Name's Fees.
And again, whispering. Hey, man. His tiny hand reaches out.
Shake, shake. Oh, it'll be
And
fun. It'll
he-
be fun to work with you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's quite right up my alley. And he holds up like the finger to the mouth, like shush motion.
Hmm.
And he's gonna check to see if the door is locked. And apparently it isn't, but
Yeah, it's not locked. You
Uh,
can open doors quietly. It doesn't need to be a
okay.
check here.
Fees knows how this goes, so she's going to cover the light rock so that's not emitting anything, and whisper, I'll rely on you to tell me what's what.
Stay here for a moment. And can I peek out?
Yeah, sure. Roll. So, dark vision means you don't have like disadvantage on perception, right? At all.
You see as if it is dim light, so I think in dim light you do have disadvantage on perception checks.
The
Okay.
kobolds also had the superior dark vision, right? So, does that
Yeah,
help
that's what I was
with
wondering.
anything?
They changed that, I think.
Okay.
Did they?
Hold
on.
Yeah, it might say features.
Let me check 5e tools. I'm pretty sure they changed it. I think they got rid of the strength malice and just made it 60 foot.
Oh, I thought he had the 120 feet with the.
No, I think it was before the change, before they made all the races like where orcs didn't get intelligence malices and stuff like that. They made it so that anyone can be anything.
Right, yeah. I just didn't think that they nerfed anything from Kobold.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah,
Okay.
kobolds don't. Yeah, we just have 60 feet.
Um,
Standard dark vision.
Yeah, so roll a perception at disadvantage and a investigation flat. Still
Not
pretty
bad.
good.
Not
Nice
bad.
rolls.
As you're kind of sleuthing around, which is what you're good at, you find it seems like a lot of this office hasn't been used in a long time, as you notice that there's this layer of dust that coats everything. What you do find is a paper bird, an unused paper bird, which is this small parchment of paper, which is magical and can send a message. It like folds into a paper crane and flies to who you want to send it.
Hmm.
I don't know if that worked. Maybe.
Yeah. I got it.
Cool. So just add that to your inventory. You also, as you're moving around and quietly opening these areas, you notice that this, in general, as you move through, doesn't seem to have people here in this general room. Let's see.
I can't add the paper bird to my inventory, but I'll figure it out in a bit.
Is
Okay.
it one single paper bird?
It is one unused, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, unused paper bird. I don't think it's like a stack of sheets.
I cannot find it in the items. Oh, magic items. That's probably why.
You also notice as you're moving to this room, it is hard to see, but you see a rope attached to this door somehow. And as you follow the rope, you notice a little bell at like near the ceiling. It seems like if you open the door, the bell will ring.
Hmm.
While he's doing this, I'm listening real hard. Using the
Sure,
only
roll
sense
a
I have.
perception.
Yeah, one listen check coming on. What do I perceive with my ears? Ugh, it's quiet.
Not much. You hear the squeaking of the rats here.
All right. Cheep.
On the other side of things, over here, as you try to very gently try these doors, you would realize that they are locked, all three of them.
What's our plan now with this?
I still think we should knock.
I tried the door in front of me. In the meantime, so
If we break through the door, it will make a lot of noise, and they'll be angry. But if we knock, they'll open the door, and they won't be angry.
is the door that I'm looking at locked? Or
Yeah, all three doors are locked.
oh, okay. Could I try thieves tooling it?
Sure. Yeah, you can definitely give it a try.
All right. First time doing this.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Did it? Oh, okay. Use thieves tools. I'm still getting used to this.
Yeah, it's got a handy button, right?
Normal.
Oh,
Nice.
Let's go.
Nice.
As Krandren gets out his tools and very deftly moves the lock, all the levers on it, the door opens up silently.
Okay. Staying quiet, I will try opening the door and looking through. What do I see?
We're very skilled at that.
Everyone roll a stealth out of you four, and we will take the average, and we will see.
Shit.
Okay, come on, guys. Let's.
I think I have to roll stealth at disadvantage because I'm wearing scale mail.
Yeah, you do.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Wait,
Oh, one
not
of those
terrible.
120.
it's a loss of a 20 though.
17.
Well, was it the first one that you rolled? No, it doesn't matter anyway.
10.3
31
or something.
divided- 31 divided by 4 is 7.75.
That's not math.
I think it's 41.
Yeah, 41, not 30. I was wondering. I was like, wait, am I that? Is it that off?
Okay. Let's
Am I
see.
just okay? Yep.
So 10.
10.25.
We are 10
Okay.
points stealthy.
So, as you open the door silently, and you know that it's pretty hard to hear, you hear the creaking sound coming in further from the warehouse. You also see a rat quickly scuttle across the doorway. It could have potentially been the rat, but yeah, you hear the sound of like a creaking coming from further in.
We should be careful going forward.
Very good advice.
Let me investigate. I think I'm the quietest of us here, so
Sounds like it.
let me see. And I'll walk around the room, trying to stay as stealthy as possible, hoping that 17 will still count.
Sure. Roll a perception check as you're moving around here.
Okay. Skills perception. Normal. My perception rolls have been garbage. It's really bad.
Yeah. As you move in here, it is very hard to tell anything as the room is completely silent. It is eerily quiet in this warehouse.
All right.
See a bunch of boxes. Some of the boxes are, let's see here.
Yeah, what's in the boxes?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the boxes?
I like how we all know the reference.
You find, yeah, a bunch of crates. They have weapons, rations, boots, black uniforms, and other gear. Seem to take this main portion of the warehouse. Yeah, that's what you get in general.
Does it look like it's is the area dusty? Does it look like people are actively using this place?
Make a investigation rather
Okay.
to tell that.
Investigation.
Nice.
13.
As you're checking this out, you'll look at the ground of this area in general. Let me quickly look at this. You notice a few things, especially checking out. It seems like these crates have been moved around recently. You'll see like breaks within the dirt and the dust of the ground. It seems like it's been used pretty recently. And you also find drops of blood leading further into the main room of this warehouse. You'll also look in this corner over here. You see a dust trail cut by something. It seems like there's something there.
Okay, Krandren might want to investigate that further, but he will go back to the rest of the group, fill them in on what he sees, and caution to remain quiet, and that just it may look like it's abandoned, but I think it's still in use. So
perhaps we should put on the outfits.
That would be a very interesting idea. It's
Outfits?
they were in the boxes.
Yeah.
I mean,
In the crates, there's these dark outfits.
We could pretend we work here.
can Krandren find small-sized outfits?
So, interestingly, all the uniforms are not sized for. They're sized for humans of average height. There's no uniforms for any other body type.
Discrimination.
One of you could stand on top of the other one.
Wonderful idea.
Still might be a little too short. I think you need Ebyn in order to make it a passable.
Do you just want me to carry you instead?
I think that defeats the purpose.
Well, look, can Krandren grab one of those outfits?
Yeah,
Uniforms?
yeah, you managed to do that.
Okay. He will take some time to put it on and go further. So.
Okay. I guess we will cut back to the group up above.
Ebyn.
How high up is this bell? Like how tall's
It's
the
not
ceiling?
very. Yeah, it's not very high up. Well, let's see. I'd say 10 feet. Yeah, I think that's about right.
10 feet. Okay. So Ebyn's gonna walk over back to these and kind of like make a small noise and just whisper, "It's me."
Ebyn, did you find anything?
Still whispering. Yes, so there's looks like a noise trap on the only other door available to us. I'm going to need your help to try to whisper this. What I'll need you to do is follow me into this next room. You can probably use the light, but once we get one room over, you're going to have to extinguish it and follow my lead. But I'll need you to lift me up, hold me there. I'll guide you to the spot, and I can see if I can disarm this.
Certainly. So I'll uncover the light so I can see, because he said it was okay. And I'll do precisely that, and I'll help Ebyn.
Okay, yeah. Between the two of you, you managed to cut the rope pretty easily. It's a very simple kind of pulley system, and you hold the bell so it doesn't ring as the weight is dropped. And yeah, you tried the door and it also seems to be unlocked.
It is unlocked?
It is unlocked. Yeah. You can roll stealth checks now if you're trying to be stealthy.
Oh,
And
yes,
we'll take
definitely.
Yeah, we're absolutely trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, we'll take an average between the two as well if you both move together.
Nice roll.
Hey!
Let's
Very
go.
good.
Stealth group, let's go.
You are very quiet.
And
moving in this.
as the door opens, we're covering the light again, of course.
Yeah.
Pew!
Uh-huh. Do
Oh,
I
geez.
have this? Okay. Yeah, you see this bigger warehouse. Roll a perception check, Ebyn, as you look into this open warehouse.
Is it at disadvantage because of dim light?
Yes, it is. You try to look in this
Oh,
direction.
no.
Oh, once again, quite hard to see. Yeah, it's hard to see. You see a bunch of crates and very shadow blotches of who knows.
Did you find anything?
I'm still whispering. I don't see anything. It could very well be abandoned.
If there's no one
Very
here,
quiet.
should we? I've got this light thing. If you think do you think there's no one here?
Hold on 1 second. Let me take another step or two forward. Get a better view of the room. It's quite large. It seems open.
Sure, go ahead.
Wait 1 moment. So I take a step forward into the room, making sure other than the sound trap, the actual doorway isn't trapped. Just on the other side of it too.
Sure. That's another investigation, I'd say.
And can I listen really hard?
Seems good.
Seems good.
Sure.
Alright.
Roll another perception.
15.
Let's see. Double check this. Yeah, you don't hear too much else,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I take a step forward.
Yeah. As you move into the room a bit further, you just see a bunch of these crates. It's very hard to see other than dim silhouettes in the dark. What you
Sure.
do see, though, is a small bit of light coming from the first floor.
Hmm.
And
Is it
you would know
moving
that
or is it
we
flickering?
no, it
Is it?
is not. It is flickering a bit. We would know that this is actually the light coming from the first floor of the other team opening the door over
Oh,
here.
sure. Okay.
So yeah, it would be, you'd know it's generally from the front door.
Okay. So I go back to V's and say,
I can see the rest of them downstairs. I guess they made their way inside. Well, I can't see them. I can see the light from one of the stoves.
Oh.
So I'm not hearing much or
Okay.
seeing much, really. So this place could be abandoned.
All right. Well, seems like they've made their way. Yeah. Should
Yes. I don't know what exactly we're looking for other than this man, but I see nothing of inhabitants.
based on the conversation, I think that's all we're. I think that's all we're looking for. Just this man with red hair. Do we see any red hair around?
No, nothing. Just crates and supplies and the light from first floor.
Do you think it's safe to uncover the light up here?
Probably, but I wouldn't be making too much noise if I were you.
Okay. I'd like to uncover the light and quietly make my way towards Ebyn, and peek in. You said there were crates, yeah?
Lots of crates.
I'd
The warehouse.
Yes.
I'd like to
Lots of
peek in the crates now that we have the ability to see perfectly.
Okay. First, both make a perception check now. Okay. Nice. You
Ooh,
both
natural.
see very well. Turns out the light helps a bunch.
Who knew?
As looking at these crates, you will see that they're filled with all sorts of junk. It seems like these crates are more. They're meant to be like a front potentially. As you see moth-eaten bolts of cotton, bottles of spoiled olive oil, and hundreds of pairs of wooden-soled sandals. But what you see much more prominently as it casts into the main floor, which is the first floor over here, you will see bunches of bodies cast all around. It's hard to see that far, but with this bit of light, you can see a few dozen bodies. It's a bloodbath in the center of the room there.
Definitely a gasp.
You should leave.
Oh, what if?
I say to V's,
We should leave.
No. What if there's? I'm just looking around, seeing if there's like anything moving immediately.
You swear you see a dark silhouette moving far across the hall. It seems like whatever can see you and you can see whatever.
There.
It's hard to tell.
In the corner. You still want to leave?
We should
Or-
leave,
or-
yes.
Ebyn is terrified right now.
Yeah.
trying
Meanwhile,
to leave.
anything else happening while this is going on this side, Krandren?
Krandren was investigating this section in the corner. You
Cool.
mentioned might be something there.
Yeah, as you look closer, with that investigation check you saw previously, you will find a hidden door, and within you will find a bunch of pretty fine paintings as well as a bunch of like silver bars. It's hard to really tell more than that, but it seems like kind of fancy stuff. You could probably sell it. And everyone would notice a light coming from the second floor. The first floor boys will notice the second floor light turning on.
We'll
roll one more perception, Krandren.
I'll
Oh,
follow
man.
Ebyn out as he's turning to leave.
Really wish
Vise
I
is a
had
little
good
shaken, but
perception. Come on. Some good. Crap. Oh my god.
Mm,
Yes, it is
Dang.
very hard to tell as this place continues to be quite silent. Mhm.
I'll walk back and fill the group in. I'll tell Torin, there's seems to be a lot of silver bars and fine art in here. You wanna grab some of this? I feel like I would myself, but I'm a little not quite on the strong side, not like you. So
Maybe.
Yes, perhaps the dragon could carry our wares.
No.
I mean, money. It's
I've got a bag of holding.
wait, what?
A
But yeah,
horse?
it's where I put all of the junk. What, you think I just carry heavy junk around all over the place with no assistance?
He's 3 feet tall.
Okay, Gerb, just go over there. Just like
Oh,
take
over where?
everything.
Oh, that direction. And you're sure?
So, as you point over in that direction and start moving, you see. Let's see. How can I most evidently show this?
Dramatically, I hope.
Why,
Because
a
you
great
guys don't have
perception
vision of
coming.
that.
So,
I guess for a second I will turn off token vision. Yeah, that's actually probably how I'm gonna do it. As
The plot is revealed.
oh no.
as you look in the direction of the crates, and what seem to be a bunch of silhouettes are these avian creatures.
Go!
And from the second floor, 2 more.
mm,
So for the first round, we will do 1 attack surprise round on the first floor. I'm not going to make them all make surprise attacks because you did not notice them. But on the second floor, you rolled high enough on the perception with the light that you could tell them could tell that they were there. So
we were we were headed or we were on our way out. I just wanted to be more emotive about it. And it ends with me closing the door. Does that change anything?
let's see, what would it change? I think, well, as you're backing up, they are going to attempt to. So what we'll do is, if you roll higher initiative, you can close the door and then decide what to do. But you hear something shuffling towards you quickly.
Okay.
And can see a silhouette of wings.
it is time though, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
Minutes
Yeah,
ago.
exactly. That's why I was gonna end it there, as you're gonna battle with these Kenku next time.
Just on our way, like Ebyn's exiting first, and I was just backing up on the way out just to make sure that we're clear. I just wanted to be emotive about the pile of effing bodies that are bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first floor people don't see that. Or now that Torin's in the main room, you can see the hint of like a leg peeking around the corner.
Yeah. So under Visa's breath, she's gonna say, "Platinum Dragon and all his grace, rest their souls." And you said roll initiative to see if I can close the door.
Yeah, we won't. Let's see. Yeah, we won't do that now.
Okay.
We'll see. So depending on if you beat them in initiative, you'll be able to go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then they will attack you, and you won't be able to close the door immediately. On your turn, you can choose to do that.
Okay. Would you like me to do that now or next time?
We'll do it next time,
Okay.
I think. Rather than getting everyone in initiative already.
I can just roll a
Let me
d20
clear
plus
these
3.
rats all out of the way.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that was the second episode of Waterdeep.
Woo! I'm riveted.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's, I like the setting. I especially like this dungeon. When Ebyn saw the dead bodies, he like freaked the
Uh-huh.
fuck out, started running. Well, not running, but like, we need to leave. This isn't worth 100 gold. We need to leave.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think half the fun is nice thing about Foundry is we can do something like this with a vision
Yeah.
where you guys are
Yeah.
like slowly piecing together things.
It's
So
pretty cool.
yeah.
That is really cool.
Oh, by the way, what random piece of junk did I find for Gur?
Oh yeah, I meant
Yeah.
to get that rolling. Let me see if I can get that real quick.
It's like crazy. It's
Also, how do you add stuff in your inventory?
There
You have to
is-
drag it from items, I think.
You can, on the top right, there's a book icon. It says Compendium Packs. In there is lots of compendia, and then you can just pick which one that you're after. If there's a plutonium version, use the plutonium version, and then you can just search it up and drag and drop it into your inventory. If it doesn't exist, then you can go to your inventory on your character sheet, and you can just hit add item, and you can make it up.
Okay, I'm assuming that the insignia isn't like a specific item that would be on here. It's